Chrissy, and I'm going to be your Game Master today. So today we are going to be playing Tales from the Loop, a freewheeling game about the 80s that never happened. This is a pool D6-based dice game that takes players through a quintessential coming-of-age tale. In the game today, we have a group of players, creators, and GMs from TPK, and if you guys would like to, please go around in the order of overlay and introduce yourselves. Starting with Meg.
Hey guys, I am Meg Mysteria. I'm one of the GMs for TPK Roleplay. You've probably seen me doing the Alien RPG for the Abandon All Hope and Destroyer of Worlds set, but I am going to be playing Samantha Carter today, a 15-year-old, kind of a computer nerd. She's very into science, math, programming, all that, because her goal is to be the first female astronaut. So that's still a long ways off, but we'll see what shenanigans she gets into before she goes into that.
Awesome. EG, you're next.
Hey guys, Miji Critical. Today I will be playing your 15-year-old hockey jock, Mads Erikkson, that was from the Sweden loop that his family moved to the New Mexico loop, through the loop. He's kind of always in everything for the thrill. He doesn't like backing down from challenges, and he likes being the big voice everywhere, even if he's wrong. So let's have some fun.
Hi everyone, I am Proper Nerdy, or Nick, or Proper. I am a staff member at TPK Roleplay, and I am a part of many, many, many campaigns and one-shots. Today I'll be playing Cynthia Adams, a kind of, not pretentious, but a young adult, someone who is always striving for her future, and she has a goal of one day following her brother in becoming a scientist at one of the loops. And so she is working hard to become a well-known scientist or a physicist. Otherwise, she is playing tennis. She's one of the popular girls at school, and she hangs out with a bunch of all these losers. Over to you, Shockpoint.
Yeah, saying you're not pretentious at all, really. You young adult, these losers. Well, besides the point. My own introduction. Yep, I am Shockpoint Failure. You probably know me from various other things I do around Twitch, as well as giving pretty much everybody here some level of shit while either in a one-shot or being a little troll in the chat. Either way, I make sure everybody has some level of fun. But I'm here today playing one Donny Torres, a, for the lack of a better term, 15-year-old hick from a local junkyard who hangs out with these guys and has some dreams of his own.
What's up, everyone? I'm Nerd Warudo. I'm not in that much stuff for TPK. I'm in the Tomb of Annihilation campaign and sometimes VPS. But today, I'll be playing the baby boy of the group, 14-year-old Connor Adams, cousin of Cynthia's. He's a very spontaneous rocker kid. He's not very much the stereotype that rockers get. He just kind of likes to vibe, play music when he can, and hangs out at the local music store. He just likes to fly by the seat of his pants.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you for those intros. So a little bit of a background on Tales from the Loop. That way we know what kind of game we're playing. Like I said, you guys are going to have a pool of D6s. We've already done all the character creation. And as we go through, basically what we'll do is we'll set up some different scenes. I'll set up some mysteries for you guys. And it's all how you guys collaboratively work together to kind of figure all of that out. I also want to touch on the 6 main principles of playing Tales from the Loop. These are big and important to the game, so I just want to make sure you guys remember them. Number 1, your hometown is full of fantastic things, even if it seems normal and mundane to you. You guys are used to this at this point, but to the outside world, it's a pretty magical and wild place. Number 2, every day is dull and life feels unforgiving. So you guys are at that age where you don't know if you want to jump into adulthood yet or hold on to your childhood. Number 3, adults are out of reach and out of touch. I always use the example of, you guys have seen, The Goonies or The Breakfast Club or whatever movie from the 80s you've seen. The adults always, for some reason, aren't as helpful as they should be. Number 4, mysteries are dangerous. The kids in this game will never die. There are going to be chances for you guys to get maybe hurt or get conditions where you're scared or exhausted, but nothing ever happens permanently to the kids. The game is always played in scenes, which I said, and it works collaboratively. So we're going to start. I'm going to explain a little bit of the world, and then we're going to start with your guys' opening scene. So a little bit of an explanation. The characters are based right now in a town called Truth and Consequence, New Mexico. And again, this is the 80s. That has never happened. So TNC has always been a sleepy town with a small head count. There's not a lot of people there. Everyone knows everyone, which also means everyone knows everyone's business. It might seem like a desolate place, but it's been a pretty decent spot to grow up in. You guys have had pretty much free reign over the town, being able to bike from one end to the other because it's only about 15 miles long. The city itself is near the Rio Grande, which provides the cooling waters during the scorching hot summers, and when the night drops and it cools off, TNC is known for their hot springs and natural wonders and the whole 9 yards. It's a beautiful spot. But some time ago, if you're not really sure when, it's the early 80s, a company called DART moved into the outskirts of town and brought with it a slew of new people, new technology, and new problems. What felt like almost overnight, 3 colossal cooling towers called the Bona reactors are popped up into the landscape with their green blinking lights and just a light buzzing all around. The company that built them, DART, D-A-R-T, which is short for the Department of Advanced Research and Technology, has been working on tons of wild new things. Some weapons, some AI, you're not really sure. But suddenly there's new animals popping up on the landscape. Mech and AI and robots are now discarded, and it's become kind of normal for you guys to see. DART in your hometown has become the United States center of technology, so the city is quickly expanding. So you see the massive metal structures sitting defunct and rusting in fields, new creatures skitter between abandoned chunks of heavy metal, and they're trying their best to find shade and stay out of the sun. And if you put your ear to the ground, you can hear the heavy heartbeat of what's known as the loop. It's the purring of the gravitron, a central piece of engineering magic that was the focus of all of the loop's experiments, a massive structure that even goes underground, and it allows for instant transport from one place to another. And Mads has a little bit of experience with this. He's actually traveled via the loop from its second home in Sweden to here in Truth and Consequence. So the loop's presence is felt in every area of your guys' lives. Your parents might work there, doing janitorial work, lots of stuff. So we'll kind of start out with setting up your guys' first scene. So we're gonna set up, it's a Monday morning. You guys are waking up and you've gotta be at school in about an hour. So whoever would like to start, how does your morning start before you head to school?
I'll take the bullet. I'll do it first.
Awesome.
Cool. So, Connor wakes up about half an hour before the bus comes to pick him up. He set out his clothes the night before. It's basically just a clean leather jacket. He doesn't have any patches on it yet. He has just a beige tee, which is a weird match for him. But he likes the light browns. He has some nice thin leg jeans. A pair of not necessarily combat boots, but they're pretty high up on his feet. He grabs his acoustic guitar and goes out to grab whatever breakfast is waiting for him before he walks out the door.
All right. So, Connor, who's down there cooking breakfast for you?
The person cooking breakfast for him is his adopted mother. In hindsight, I probably should have come up with a name, but I didn't because I didn't think I'd be.
She's mom. That's all that matters.
Just
Yeah,
mom.
so you're a kid. You don't have to worry about a name. Mom's good. That's plenty. So as you kind of come downstairs, your mom's sitting there making some toast, maybe a couple eggs, whatever you would normally eat for breakfast. And she sets a $5 bill in front of you and she says, well, Connor, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to be working late. So go ahead and stop and grab yourself something to eat on the way home from school. I'll leave the key in the normal spot. And she kind of is gathering her stuff and starts to head out to the car and head to work.
I'm going to quickly eat the eggs and grab the toast and start walking out the door. Okay, thanks. See you when you get home. And I'm quickly rushing out in order to catch the bus.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go back chronologically because Cynthia would have been up at least 2 hours before school because she has practice before school. So she goes in and does some, exercises and stuff for the tennis team. So she has on her tennis shorts and some tennis shoes and some very brightly colored top and socks that, of course, match. And she has gotten her hair to just the perfect level of unbelievably tall.
Yeah.
She ducks into the fridge and she grabs some fruit and some other things for breakfast since her parents aren't up yet. Her dad is just getting up and he is a bit of a harebrained morning person, but he is the stay-at-home dad and he's getting ready for my younger siblings. But I am nearly out the door by the time he is up and going. And my mom is the smart one of the family, and she is the breadwinner of the family. And so basically, Cynthia is the first one out the door every morning, while all the lights are probably still off. And she gets on her bike and she bicycles to school early in the morning, and joins her other teammates at the tennis courts and the gym.
Okay. So, yeah, your morning goes off easily. It's just, at this point for Cynthia, it is a get up, get it done, and make sure I look good doing it kind
Exactly.
of morning. So as she gets to school, though, you're going to get there, and the coach of the tennis team is going to remind you, hey, don't forget, tomorrow we have that match, and I need you on your toes. I think her name's Miss Meitner, right?
Mrs. Meitner, yeah.
Mrs. Meitner. She's gonna remind you, don't forget, tomorrow we've got that big match. I'm expecting some good stuff out of you.
Don't worry, I got it.
And she'll kind of throw an arm around you and kind of walk off, heading towards her classroom.
Perfect.
All right. Who's
All right,
next?
I'll bite the bullet and jump in next. So, like Cynthia, Donny is up a bit earlier than most people, but unlike Cynthia, it's not because he's a part of a team or anything and has to be at school early. It's more because his house is a bit further out towards the edge of town. Junkyards usually aren't in the middle of town. And adding on to the fact that waiting for whoever's going to give him a lift further into town, he's picking through said junkyard, looking for some parts and pieces for a couple of his ongoing projects.
All right. And who is it? Your dad that you live with out there at the junkyard?
Yes.
Yeah. Is he up with you? Are you guys chit chatting? Is he working on something already? What does that look like?
I would expect him to probably be working on something as well, probably an old muscle car that he's trying to fix up himself. And yeah, we're probably chatting with me halfway up a pile of junk while he's waist deep in an engine bay.
Okay. So he's got his coffee cup or whatever sitting on the bumper of a car as he's just kind of digging in, trying to get it done. And he'll, as you're kind of getting ready to head out the door, he'll stop and go, Donny, why don't you invite your friends over? I haven't seen them around in a while. You used to buddy around with all those kids. Where'd they go?
They kind of just started doing their own thing. I'll say if they're up to it, no promises though.
And he'll, as he's continuing to kind of work, just make mention of it, just to kind of check in with you. You can tell he's probably a little bit worried because you've been starting to tinker yourself a little bit more. Just concerned about maybe you isolating a little bit. Wants you to get out and do something, not end up like him. Alright.
And yeah, Donnie nods and says his goodbyes before he makes a run for the road. Yeah, I would imagine he would grab a bike and yeah, I don't think it's honest. I was just getting a lift from anybody, so yeah, grab a bike and make his way into town.
Alright, yeah. Mads or Samantha, you guys are out.
Don't all jump at once. This is only a role-playing game.
I'm gonna go last because I'm gonna be the last person that shows up. So.
All right. Then, opposing to most that wake up, I'm awoken by the 5th trip up to my room from my father, as I am not getting out of bed and finally snoozing the alarm. I'd say school starts at 8. It's about 7:47, and I'm just grabbing my bag and my hockey stick, getting ready, and I bust through the door, charge downstairs, and I got Dad there scolding me, worrying about my foreseeable hockey career, and telling him that if I don't pick myself up, I'm gonna ruin my life. As Mom is there saying, "Oh, leave the kid alone. He's young." And I snatch the plate, scarf down the bacon, eggs, sausage, and ham, and grab my bag and sprint out the door.
All right. So when you hear your dad kind of getting on you about doing better, how does that make Mads feel? What's that feel like for him?
Mads, he kind of lives in the moment. He gets caught up in a lot of things. He gets caught up in himself a lot. So when he hears his dad kind of do it, he just kind of shakes it off and just remembers what Mads wants to do.
All right.
And what he wants to do is kind of like be the big show, the big shot. And he doesn't really care when or where it is. He just wants to do it.
All right. And Samantha, you're up.
Okay, maybe I'm not the last person to show up, but so there's a very good chance that Samantha didn't really sleep the night before. She was up for a long time, fiddling with the fractured pieces of one of the motherboards that her dad had brought in from work the night before. And speaking of Dad, it's probably about 7 o'clock when he comes into our room with a plate of just like a bowl of oatmeal and some juice for that morning, and sets it on her work table while she's working. Is like, wow, you were up early this morning. It's like, yeah. He's like, I'm getting ready, and he just shakes his head and says, I'm getting ready to go into work. Don't work on that too long or you're gonna end up late again. And she's like, yeah, I'm on it. I'll eat this and I'll get going. And he leaves, heads back into his heads to a store, a little electronic shop that's about the center of town, and does not touch the food. Does not touch that. And is still working on this motherboard until it's about the same time as Mads. It's maybe 10 minutes before school starts when she notices the time, and she's like, shit, and grabs the juice, Dad had the foresight to put it in a water bottle because he knows how she is. Grabs that, throws on her jean jacket, grabs her bag, and hauls ass to get to that bike and head to school. Her beanie always on her head. We'll see how administration feels about that when we get there.
Yeah. So, you guys managed to all get your morning started. And again, it's dull and normal, and it's exactly how it happens every day, and you guys are just kind of over it. So, as you guys are getting to the school, you walk in, and it's hot. You are in New Mexico. It's warm. Connor's in a leather jacket, probably sweating a little bit. Sam's wearing a beanie, and it's got her little NASA symbol on it, and she's probably a little warm, but especially from biking in or whatever, however you guys got there on the bus. And you guys walk in, and when you walk into school, there's a different energy here for some reason. And you notice that the teachers are all kind of huddled in the front office. There's about 15 of them. And the students are all kind of just watching them stand in there, and they're having conversations. And it's just a different energy right now in the school. So the teachers come out of the office, and they're kind of whispering to each other. Now, you guys aren't necessarily with each other, so what I'll say is across the board, if everybody wants to give me maybe whatever you're comfortable with, I will take either an investigate or a charm or a contact roll, whatever you're comfortable doing if you want to see if you can kind of hear or understand what these teachers are talking about, what's happening at the school, why is the energy so different?
I think Connor, rather than going to a member of the faculty, will probably just kind of ask the other students that he might not know so well, but definitely is in good favor with, just kind of hear what they've said, and that's going to be my charm roll. I should have looked at what number that would have been before I rolled all of my dice. I need 8.
I rolled a 7d6s for my contact roll.
What?
And Cynthia's pride is that she knows everything about everyone. And so she is pissed because she cannot make out hide nor hair of what's going on, and she is really angry. She has changed out of her workout clothes, and she's wearing a billowy, blousey shirt with big shoulder pads and really tight, like acid wash jeans, and just like some, something that's a completely different color and totally clashes with everything. But of course, that was the style back then. And
Cute. That's about the
like
summary of it.
big earrings that were a completely different color. Anyway, and so she goes over to the locker of Samantha and kind of leans against the lockers in a slump because she doesn't know what's going on, and she knows something exciting's happening.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not going to be of much help for you because I did not get anything. So.
I got 2 6s and 1 1 on my roll.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure ones do.
Let's say 6s are the only thing that matter here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and I was just going to explain that. So the ones aren't necessarily critical failures. I think that's where our role-playing brains go. We just want a 6 for a success. But even on a 1, I will say, for those of you who might not necessarily have heard exactly what's going on, no 6s, but you've got some 1s and stuff, you definitely do feel the energy, and it feels like something's missing. You can tell something's missing, but you can't quite tell what. So Connor, you had a couple 6s, and then Donnie, did you as well, or Mads?
I just rolled. I was going with charm, pretty much just catching the arm of a passing by student and just saying, "Hey, who died?" And Yeah, I got a single 6 out of that.
Okay. All right. 1 success. That's good. How about you, Mads or Connor?
Yeah, so I also got a single success. I used contact because I'm gonna kind of like go through my hockey boys and maybe talk to my coach. I'm going to assume that one of my quote unquote failures or not successes was when I passed by Cynthia and Sammy. I kind of did the whole like lean against the locker thing, like, hey, you know what's going on around here? And I unwittingly do not notice the anger on Cynthia's face about the lack of knowledge in their pursuit. And then once, however Cynthia reacts, I either run quickly or I kind of chill okayly.
She's just got the like smolder/pout look on her face as she's like eyeing everyone, trying to find any information.
Oh, so yeah.
She
Not
is
really in the mood to chat.
Yeah.
Normally she is a gossipy, chatty person, but she is so silent right now.
So, since we're conglomerating around Samantha's locker for a minute here,
Yeah.
she's just kind of oblivious, just teared through the hallway because it's like right before the bell, I think. But is at her locker, has it open and is filtering through her bag and the locker with different like advanced course workbooks. It just looks at them, looks around, is like, why are you so mad?
Something is going on in this school, and I want to know what it is because something is different. I gotta know.
Well, if it's important, they'll probably make an announcement.
Well,
I want to know before that happens.
Yeah, I did hear from around a couple of bros that something weird's been going on. Something's a little off.
Yeah, so Donnie and Connor, where are you guys at? Who were you guys talking to?
Like I said, just some random student I grabbed the shoulder of on my way through.
Okay, how about you, Connor?
I think I was probably just passing through the hallways, probably also going to meet with Cynthia before class, and just kind of like doing the walk and talk, just kind of nudge someone on the shoulder and ask passingly.
Yeah, so for those of you who rolled 6s, you definitely, you hear some of the teachers. They're kind of whispering. They think they're whispering a little bit louder than normal, and they're like, Mr. Wainwright, he was supposed to be here this morning. No called, no showed. He was just a mess on Friday, just completely disheveled. I haven't seen him like that ever. And now he's not here. It's just so strange. And they're trying to figure out who is going to cover for his classes all day, who has breaks during their classes, and how are we going to get this figured out?
What does he teach?
He is the music teacher. So he does choir and band.
This is Mr. Wainwright?
Yep.
Wait, I said wait.
Wainwright. Wainwright.
All the players put their heads down and start taking notes. While Cynthia and Samantha are like...
This is the part of the comic frames where like you see, I think, Donnie, Connors, and Mads are just like and then the other frames are just like...
Yeah. So you guys definitely, those of you who had the successes and the folks that had the 6s on those, you can tell that there's a couple of teachers that are pretty concerned. Because this is definitely out of character for him. He's been here, Mr. Wainwright's been a teacher with you guys for a couple of years now. He's pretty reliable. He's always seemed pretty cool. The kids always like him. He's the guy who plays, Pink Floyd, after class, and he'll teach you a couple riffs on the guitar, and he's just kind of that cool young, kind of hippie, middle-aged guy that you guys always just kind of seem to think is a lot cooler than the other teachers.
So it's
That's the one that Connor probably associates
that
with the most, because
that I love so much.
so
he's so awesome.
it sounds like Mads, Sam and I are kind of hanging out near Sam's locker, and once she gets at least an inkling that this is the music teacher thing, she rolls her eyes and says, "We have to go see Connor now. He's gonna know everything." And
At this point, just say that Donnie walks up behind him and says, "Oh, good. At least that saves me some time of finding the rest of you."
oh, hi, Donnie.
Yeah, what's up, Donnie? Give you a little shove.
Donnie shoves back. Yeah. What's up, guys? So, also, Cynthia, come on. You don't have to act like you haven't seen me in ages. It was only like, what, a month ago?
Yes. No. It's been it's been only a month, but you know, I've been off. I'm doing other things. I've been studying pretty hard.
Right.
Speaking of which, Cynthia's going to tap Sam on the shoulder. She's gonna spin around and say, "Oh, by the way, Mrs." I just had a name and I just blanked on it. Damn it. Mrs. Smith's math. Mrs. Smith's math homework is really killing me. I'm gonna need to talk to you after class because I'm not getting it in the slightest. And so Sam is Cynthia's like sort of friend, sort of math tutor, and that's why they kind of hang out together.
Oh, sure. Which course are you doing?
It's advanced algebra, and it's getting to these weird points where I just can't. It's not math anymore. It's just like,
Oh, you're doing graphs with letters, aren't you?
it's just I haven't looked at a number in a month.
Well, I've got
Why
it.
start now?
I've got it. I can show you how it works.
Come on, what's with all this studying here? When are we gonna start hanging out again?
You hang out with the hockey boys, and I can't stand them.
Listen, you stop being a little uptight. Maybe a little bit of the hockey boys can stand you too.
They just love to shove each other into lockers and shit. I'm not into
Oh,
that.
look, there's Connor.
Hi.
Yes, so at that point, you guys are standing there kind of chit-chatting. It is just about bell, and you see Connor kind of walking up. Connor, how do you think you would feel if you knew your, like, I mean, that's your guy. That's your music teacher. He's your kind of like, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm like walking a little bit faster just to not be late for whatever class I have. My vibe has also definitely changed. I'm more down than I usually am.
Okay.
And I just kind of like speed walk to the group and say, guys, something really bad has happened. Mr. Wainwright's gone missing.
Oh my god, do you think his wife is cheating on him?
Cynthia.
Why do you always jump to that?
It's
Why is that the sixth cheating
Nothing
allegation
happens.
you've made?
Nothing happens in this town. I want something exciting to happen.
well,
Connor,
Yeah,
are
and
you
then-
okay?
I don't like other than Mikey at the music store. This is like the only other guy I could like talk about music with. And I'm worried because like the teachers said that he was going crazy when I was walking by. So
It's always an exaggeration. Don't they do like I don't know, don't these boomers have like the midlife crises, things like that?
Did we
We're
have the
boomers.
term
What are you
boomer?
talking about?
I forgot that
this is
listen,
the 80s.
the 80s that never happened. Boomers exist, okay?
We're in the 80s, man.
Well, didn't you have class with him Friday? How was that?
I mean,
Yeah, I'll say you guys all have a music class with him at the end of the day. So you guys know that coming up here in a handful of hours, you're gonna be going to your respective music classes. So
yeah, he was. Like, you guys noticed too how he's like never uptight about anything. Like he's super laid back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like on Friday he was like, I don't know, he just seemed like he was rushing everything. Like it felt like we got through a lot more stuff in band class.
I'm not following.
Like it felt like he was rushing his teaching. Like
Maybe he's
we got
just
through
sick.
it. Like we got through an entire song. That never happens.
Yeah, and he wasn't all that put together, was he, back on Friday?
Yeah,
Is he
if
not?
somebody wants to roll on their mind, you can kind of get a little bit more information. Maybe if you remember what the teachers mean by disheveled or whatever.
Ooh, I got a 6.
Okay.
You know what? It's fitting for my original statement. Was he? Because I rolled no successes.
What's
I
the,
also got a 6, which is what I was supposed to,
Was-
because I got a mind of 3.
Same.
Is this rolling on like comprehend?
I
Or,
was
like,
just doing
investigate?
mind, the attribute mind.
Oh, so is this just like the
Yep.
standard 5 then?
Yep.
And ignore that.
Yeah.
It's like a memory, essentially.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep,
Hmm.
as a memory. You got it.
Let's try physical roll. 1 fell. I got a 6. We'll say
Alright.
6.
So,
Oh no!
Robert.
Cynthia is just not having
4 ones in a row.
Oh,
Cynthia's
Cynthia, are you
off her
having a bad
game.
day?
Cynthia is just so focused on this match
Yeah.
that she just has not been as up to speed with the gossip and the intel that she normally is.
Cynthia has gone way too hard at her warm-ups this morning. Her aerobics have gone a little too fast-paced, I guess.
She's still coming down from the
Right.
workout.
Yep.
She pulls out a bottle of hairspray and just like sprays it all over and just like pushes back the sweat, and it's just so angry.
You're gonna start a fire.
So,
No, she's not. If anything, my jacket will start a fire. It's grease stained and all of that.
so as you guys are sitting there, you're pretty sure when you were in class on Friday, Mr. Wainwright was frantic, shuffling papers a lot at the desk, which is very abnormal for him, getting you guys very quickly through the lesson, and he let you guys split like a good 10-15 minutes early from the end of the day from class to kind of just get you out of there.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty good day. And as you guys were leaving, you saw him kind of like wipe his hair, his long kind of hippie hair back, and he had a couple little like bruises and cuts like right on the tops of his head, like as if he had maybe hit his head on something. I mean, he looked pretty rough.
Yeah, I
Well,
kind of
I
do
mean-
remember. He was a little bit
We
weird that day.
Well, I mean, we can go check on him after school. You know where he lives, right, Connor?
I think I do. I've never been to his house, but we've talked a lot, and I think he's given me his address like 1 or 2 times.
I
Wait,
thought
why
you guys
after
had been
school?
doing lessons together.
I've been doing
Uh,
lessons with Mikey at the music
Oh
shop.
yeah, Mikey. I get them confused sometimes. Sorry.
You still playing the saxophone, or have you moved on to yet another instrument, Connor?
He's carrying a
I mean-
guitar, Cynthia.
I mean, I literally just turn around and like, I don't know. I think this is a pretty weird saxophone, but
Another instrument, Connor? Good.
well, yeah,
Cool.
because like, if you think about it, it's so fun because I can just, I'm doing this in real time. Like,
So an acoustic saxophone. Okay, congratulations.
exactly, an acoustic saxophone.
So just as you guys are, as he's kind of just messing around on the guitar, obviously trying to get his mind distracted from all of the emotions he's feeling, the bell rings and you guys are late to class. You got to get moving. You make it through your school day pretty easy, and you hit the end of it. What would normally be Mr. Wainwright's music class, where you guys would separate out. You have, just a janitor comes in, he rolls in an old TV with a VHS player, sits everybody down, puts puts in a VHS tape, and it's a videotape about Mozart, classical music. He moves to the back of the room, sits at Mr. Wainwright's desk, kicks his feet up, and that's it. That's your last class of the day.
So not even a worksheet, it's just the video?
Not even a worksheet.
gonna-
Alright, we're doing math, boys.
I think I would like at some point during the class I would like just raise my hand, and before he even calls on me, I would just say, "Can I teach the class today? I'm bored."
And, this is just like a janitor who wasn't expecting to have to do this, right? He's like, absolutely not. Sit down. Just watch the movie. And, he just goes back to whatever he was doing, like marking things off on a little sheet of paper, stuffing it in his pocket. Nothing at all.
I sit back down begrudgingly, and I just mumble to myself, "There hasn't been a single note played yet."
Yeah. So go ahead, Donny.
I was just saying, pretty much after like a 20-minute nap, he's just ignoring the first 20 minutes of the movie. He's just going to look around to see if the janitor's actually doing anything to watch them. And
I imagine that as soon as the TV is set up, the janitor walks out of the room, it just is chaos. Just people doing everything. Nothing. No one is watching the movie. We're just all doing anything else.
He just goes on a bathroom break, and we all like instantly stand up and start talking, playing whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
Bathroom break that lasts the whole class.
Yeah, I'll say about halfway through the class, he's going to get up, and before he'll kind of do that Breakfast Club thing, if anyone's ever seen that movie, and he'll like scan across the room.
I'm watching you.
kind of like I'm watching you, and then he'll walk out and close the door behind him. And you have about probably half hour before class, and
yeah. During that half hour, I'm gonna walk up to Cynthia. Hey, I think Mr. Wainwright was shuffling through his papers on Friday. If there's some, if you want some information, I'm pretty sure maybe there might be some papers on his desk.
Cynthia is going to pull some contraband out of her backpack. She opens up a can of new Coke.
oh, all right.
Because she thinks that she's exhausted from her practice today. She's gonna have to do some more practice after school at some point, and she thinks that she is decaffeinated, and she's gonna drink some new formulated Coke.
Not sponsored.
I had to throw that 80s reference in there.
That's a good one. So it's one of those little tin cans with even like the tab is a little bit old, and if you remember this, I think I'm just old. I remember this old.
I was born in the 90s. I know this from cultural references.
through watching movies.
Memory. So,
but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, they weren't as streamlined as they are in the 2000s.
Correct.
They're like clunky and old.
Yeah.
Even if they were fresh.
You hear Connor. Connor, he brings up a good point. If you guys wanted to do any investigating, somebody could attempt to maybe sneak over there or do it quickly.
God, Connor, you want to sneak and look at someone else's paperwork? Ooh.
I'm not gonna sneak. I'm gonna sit right over there and strum on my guitar.
You know what? Fuck it. And she's gonna take a big swig of new Coke. And I don't know why I have to say it that way every time, but and so she's going to take a big swig and put it down on the counter and look around. No one's paying attention to literally anything because they're 15-year-olds. And so she's going to get up from her chair, look back at Sam to kind of see if she's going to like encourage this behavior.
Sam just kind of.
Is Sam looking or is Sam?
The only...
Is Sam looking or is Sam fiddling?
She's probably sitting next to Cynthia, so she hears the conversation and just looks over at them. It's like, that's actually technically illegal, guys.
I need to know what's going on because no one will tell me, and I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
And so, what do you say this kind of a sneaky thing would be? Sneak?
You could roll on sneak or investigate, whichever you are more comfortable with.
Well, I have a better chance of investigating, so I'm not going to try to be sneaky about it. I'm going to try to
No one's paying attention.
I'm pulling on the I'm meant to be here. I kind of look.
Sure.
So that's a 1
I am
plus a
PFP.
4.
Just sit for a second in the chair and spin around, pretending you're the teacher before you start going through papers.
Yeah.
There's like this
Pretty
spin
much.
around.
Okay. Those are some high numbers and 1 success. Or 1
That's
6.
okay, yeah. So, as everyone else, is anyone else moving towards the desk to help, or are you doing anyone else doing anything, or are you guys just watching Cynthia have the gusto to do it alone?
I think
Donnie is going to be the smart person, and he's going to post up by the door and play lookout.
Yeah, give me a general. No, I won't even make you roll on that. I'll just say if he comes up, you'll get a heads up on it. So Cynthia, as you head over to the table, you see lots of different notes, sheet music laying out, different little symbols of how he would probably be having the marching band move. Lots of things. The desk is super cluttered, very messy. But as you open kind of the center but the center drawer, where his pens and stuff normally is, there's a notebook in there, and as you kind of flip through it and are reading it, you can't quite tell what he's trying to do, but it's all science. It's talking about motherboards and welding things together, and it looks like mathematical equations and all sorts of stuff that's pretty out of character for what you would know Mr. Wainwright to do. He's usually just a pretty cool music guy. And this looks like some pretty intense science that's happening.
She's going to stand up and tuck this into her jeans behind her blouse and look over to Donnie to make sure no one's coming.
Yeah, you're good so far.
And so she's going to quickly duck down and kind of rifle through the rest of the drawers to see if there's any knickknacks or weird other in 2020 terms, I would say USB drives, but were floppy disks a thing?
They were. That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah.
I'm looking for some
Stack of
floppy disks. Especially
Floppy disk
ones
sweet
with
decks.
with weird or secret or nothing written on them.
Mm-hmm. So as you're going through, you're continuing to do some investigating. You definitely find 2 different floppy disks. One says the Oregon Trail, and one is blank.
I'm gonna take both.
Okay.
Maybe it's hidden in the game.
This is the correct response.
Hey,
We will brave the
always
river.
brand something with a generic word. Maybe Oregon Trail is not Oregon Trail, but it's actually the plans to a secret DART facility something or other.
In Oregon.
in Oregon.
On a trail.
It is the 3rd loop.
The third
So,
loop to
yeah.
erupt overnight.
As the class starts to end, I'll say you get a good, decent amount of investigating. You even find, in the lower drawer, you find a couple of other new Cokes and some snacks and other things in his desk that he had obviously had when he got hungry in between classes.
I steal his Dr. Pepper gum.
That was a thing, wasn't it?
It was. I love it.
I'm doing
Alright.
research, guys.
We're going whole ham.
So it's about 5 minutes before the bell, and Donnie, you see the janitor coming back, walking through. He's got his cart. He's pulling it up. It looked like he had to go take care of something real quick, and
Yeah, knowing that we didn't have a pre-set up signal, Donnie's just making a loud whistle to alert everybody.
Cynthia grabs a
Hey,
pencil.
everybody get your shit together.
Cynthia grabs a pencil from the top of the desk and quickly turns around and starts sharpening it at the wall sharpener.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still have
And just
wall
pretends that she's just there sharpening her pencil.
Yeah. So, Mads, while this is happening, what are you doing? Are you just hanging out watching it all unfold?
I think I've kind of like been paying attention a little bit, but on the other hand, he's kind of been like standing on the chair, trying to balance it on its back legs, kind of like chair surfing.
Oh my
a little
god.
bit.
Oh
But like
my
probably
God.
falling like maybe 6 times, and
Okay.
You're just
Is this
yeah,
the style
like,
of desk where the desk table's connected to the chair, or is it a table and a chair?
A table and
I-
a chair. Yeah.
a table
Okay.
and a chair. Yeah, so I'm just on the chair.
It's the thing where you lean it back and try to like rock
you
back and
back
forth,
on its
right?
hind legs,
Yeah, except I'm standing on it where like I have one leg.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the
He's
seat
trying to
part
surf it.
and the other leg on like the backrest part.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe using my stick as like a balancer, like
There you go.
which when I fall causes me to get hurt even more.
You break
that's
your
You're
taking
arm.
up the
already
budget.
bruised from practice, and
Yeah, yeah. My left shoulder's a little messed up because I've been in the glass too many times. But
Alright.
yeah, that takes up the majority of my time while this is happening.
Alright, so give me a roll on your body, on your move, to see if he catches you standing on this chair, kind of chair surfing, as he walks in.
So a move check.
Yep.
Since I'm using my stick to
You
balance.
can add an extra d6. Yeah, yeah.
Woo.
All right, let's see how this goes. What am I at? So it's 96 greater than 6. Ooh.
All right. Yeah. So you guys, as you see Mads chair surfing on the back of this chair, balancing pretty okay. He messes up a couple times, catches himself. As Donny lets out a loud whistle, he just gracefully hops down, lands in the seat, and it's as if it didn't happen.
He kickflips.
Just kicks back, and acts like it was all planned.
He kickflips and then lands in the chair.
Yeah. So the janitor comes in and sees Cynthia kind of sharpening her pencil, and everyone's kind of just sitting there, eerily more quiet than he probably expected. And he gives everybody kind of just that uncomfortable glance over.
Suspicious.
He stops. Yeah, just suspicious glancing. He stops the tape, and just as he's starting to do that, you guys can start collecting your things, and it is the end of the day. So as you're walking out, the last bell rings. You're walking out of the school, standing inside the door, taking advantage of that little bit of air conditioning before you hit that hot sun. I'd like everybody to give me a roll on their investigate or comprehend or mind, whichever you would prefer.
Investigate, comprehend, or mind.
All right, I'm gonna go with comprehend,
Me too.
Perfect.
Oh, a straight mind.
and I got none.
I got
Oh,
a
no.
6. I got a 6 and 2 5s. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, one
Oh,
success.
I need to find different dice because that's nothing. I have 5s, but nothing. Jesus.
All right.
These are going to the side. We're getting different ones.
So,
Instant
Cynthia,
dice
did you want to roll on that or no? Or did you? Oh, you
Oh, I
did.
did.
Okay.
I got a success and a couple of 4s.
All right. Perfect. So, for those of you who got those 6s, you're just, as you're walking out, kind of glancing over towards the lockers. Connor, you're going to notice him probably first. You see James. He's the kid of the man who actually caused the car accident that your family was in. He's the young man who's their son. So James is standing by his locker, and you see him grab something out of his locker, and it's glowing, and he sticks it into his pocket, kind of like looks around to see if he notices if anybody's watching him. And you see him just kind of dart off quickly out the door as if he's trying to get the hell out of Dodge as quickly as possible. The rest of you see James, that same kid you guys know the history with Connor and his family and that family. This kid's kind of always wanted to be one of you guys. He wants to hang out with you. You've never really let him into the group. But now he doesn't even seem necessarily focused on you, and definitely seems focused on whatever he's trying to get done.
Oh, finally he stopped trying.
Yeah. Wait, who did you say saw this?
I saw him put the thing in his
I think
bag,
anybody with a
and then-
success saw the glowy thing.
Yeah.
Anyone with a success saw the glowing item go into his pocket.
Mhm.
What do you think that shiny thing was?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was taking after his parents.
Hmm.
Oh, well, that is a thing to look into later. Or not. I don't want anything to do with him. So, Great Detective Cynthia, what'd you find?
What did I find? All right. She's going to hand over the floppy disks to Sam and say, "You still have that what commander or
The
something?
Commodore. Yeah.
That thing. Yeah. Can you just double check these? I mean, one of them is probably just Oregon Trail, but the other one maybe, I don't know. But
You got
more
Oregon
excited.
Trail? Yes, Oregon Trail. Wow, I knew he was awesome.
She seems kind of hesitant at first, because this is very illegal.
Hey, Sam,
Like,
Sam, remember we put a computer in George.
Did we put a computer in George? Oh yeah.
We put a
we did
computer in
put that.
George.
I don't
right
know if
at
it's.
the end we did, didn't we?
We'll have to test it, but I don't know how well that's gonna add up. I still
mean-
remember the programming being a little buggy, but we can give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, if it is illegal, it would be better if we put it in something that on record doesn't exist than your home computer.
True.
Wait, do we want to just
I love all this secrecy, as if these computers can talk to each other, that anyone can track these things, because that's not how floppy disks work.
Yeah, floppy
It's
disks
not,
are
but,
contained in
like-
that
Look,
one.
Your computer
Nobody
ran off
knows
the
how
floppy
these
disk,
men-
not the other way around.
Records on my personal computer
Doesn't
is
exist.
not as good.
Well, I would say that you guys, while you guys are a group of really smart kids, you're not quite too sure how some of this tech works anyways.
Listen,
So,
it's very quickly.
the-
advancing.
Yeah, this is me as a 2020 person being like, the 80s were weird.
But as an 80s kid, being handed a floppy disk and not knowing what's on it and finding a neutral space, that definitely makes sense to you because you don't necessarily know what it is.
Hey, if it turns out to be some virus that causes a computer to explode, a computer exploding in George is less damaging than a computer exploding in our house.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
didn't George
I
not like
wouldn't
that
want to
last time?
explain that to my dad.
Last time was your fault.
Cynthia's going to turn to Donny and put on a charm that she is trying to ignore the fact that she rolled her eyes at Donny earlier in the morning. And she starts pulling out the notebook from the back of her jeans, and she opens it up and starts scrolling through it and
Scrolling.
flipping through it, and
This is a notebook.
when she gets to a point where she stops understanding what's going on in the notebook, she's gonna turn it around and hand it to Donny and just say, "Donny, can you read any of this?"
Donnie just deadpans at Cynthia before glancing down at the paper. What basic algebra nonsense am I looking at?
Go ahead and give me an investigate or calculate.
Calculate is... Oh, that's tech. I'll go with that. And there is one success in there.
One success, yeah. You can definitely tell these are math equations, and they're more based in physics and science and the idea. And a couple of pages in, there's even some sketches and blueprints of a small box on a tripod little symbol on the one side, kind of drawn onto the one side of the cube. And you can't quite figure out necessarily what it is. It doesn't say, it isn't labeled necessarily, this is X, but you definitely can tell that this is where he's been jotting down some notes on a machine that he has made.
Mr. Wainwright's becoming a vlogger.
Okay, so, alright, I kinda get what's going on here. Did you snag this from his desk as well?
I'm not saying.
So you did.
I think she did. You did, didn't you?
Cynthia's only got an eye, Connor.
Plead the fifth.
I mean, you literally all saw me do things, so probably you all know.
You
know,
just
wait.
don't want to say it because people will hear you.
Yeah, so that is the end of your guys' school day. So what would you like to do?
Hey guys, if we're going to go hang out at George, I think I should stop by my house and leave a note saying that I won't be home probably when my mom gets back.
Cynthia has to immediately go back to tennis practice. That's gonna take like an hour or so, or an hour or two, and so she looks over at Sam and just says, "I'll meet you at what was it, Greg? No, George."
It's
And
George.
You're the one who named it.
And let's talk about the algebra, okay? Because that was a disaster today. And so she hops up and runs out the door towards the gymnasium, and she's going to meet up with the gang in a couple hours.
Okay.
Okay, see you later.
Mm-hmm. Bring snacks.
Yeah. So, Mads, are you heading to hockey practice?
Nah, they don't need me over there. I'm gonna go see what kind of adventure we can do elsewhere. I actually wanted to ask, so is it Donnie, Connor, and Sammy right now together?
Yep.
Yep.
I wanted to ask, like, well, in the meantime, do we want to just go to Mr. Wainwright's house, see if he's there?
I mean, GM, is the layout of the city, would my house be before or after Mr. Wainwright's, or would it be like, or would it be like in opposite directions? How would I map this out in my head?
So, Truth and Consequence is actually a city in New Mexico, so if you really wanted to pull it up and look at the actual map, you're welcome to, but it's basically just kind of like a long city. It's right by the Rio Grande. It's a pretty long city. It's pretty thin this way. I will say, for the sake of storytelling, that you have an understanding that Mr. Wainwright was like renting a loft down kind of in the downtown area. And you know that there's a place called Goat's Head downtown where he kind of hung out. It's like an artsy spot where people make sculptures and they do, they like tinker on things, and he had an apartment above that.
Awesome, cool.
Wow, there's
Yeah.
like 3 main roads and a highway.
Yeah, it's a small spot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if we can just stop by my house so I can slip that note under the door first. Yeah, I'm down to go check out his apartment, see if he's there.
All right, cool, yeah, let's get going. Been a boring day so far. I'm ready for some action.
Yeah. So
Alright, this
you
is
guys,
gonna be an art place.
Phrasing?
So don't.
Why would there be action? Are you planning on breaking into the house?
Whoa, you said it, not me. But
Don't break. Please don't break any of the
I
art
didn't
there
I gave
either.
him ideas. Oh god.
come on, I won't break any of the art. I just want to go see what our lovely teacher's been doing all weekend. Everything's been very strange, right?
yeah.
A little
So-
weird, yeah.
You guys make it over there fairly easy. It is not hard, Connor. You're able to get home. You know, this is age of being a latchkey kid, meaning like your parents would just leave the key, you know, in the mailbox or under the mat. And you guys kind of could just come and go as you please. Some of them work evenings at the factories, or they work at the Loop in the evenings. They're not going to be right there, you know. They're not going to be right there, so you can get home, and this is normal. It's just to leave mom a note.
Adults are out of reach and out of touch.
Yeah, they think you guys are good. You guys are good kids.
It's
So
a
they
late night
trust
at
you.
the shop.
Yeah, they trust
It's that small time 80s vibe where like kids will do what they want, and as long as they're home by sundown, it'll be fine.
you. Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna leave the note and then doing a quick Google so I know that what I'm about to say can actually happen.
We can make it work. What do you want to say?
I wanted to say that I grab like a value box of off-brand Twinkies.
Oh, yeah.
And I grab that and then I grab that as I walk out.
Getting a good old box of Twonkies, you mean?
Twonkies.
Yeah, so you run in, jot your note down, start opening a couple cupboards. There's a box of Twinkies right there. You grab them, shove them in your backpack, and you guys are out the door again. Are you all on bikes? Are you walking? How are you getting around town?
I mean, I brought my bike to school, so.
Yeah, I don't think Donny is going to be walking from the outskirts of town. Even
This is quickly
small.
turning into a game of kids on bikes.
I know. Yes, I mean it's the easiest way for you guys to get around.
I mean, if we have 2 bikes at least, then and 2 people don't, they can just. There's like the little pegs on the back of the wheels. I mean.
Oh, we have peg bikes. I see how it is.
Yeah,
Peg
yeah,
bikes is so fun.
We had to coordinate. We did this when we were younger.
I think Connor by this point probably has like a junker bike that's like the tires are always super low, and like
Okay.
he's always slower than the rest of them.
All right. So you guys make it over to Goat's Head. It's this little artsy spot, and it's kind of like a cafe. You know, there's a spot in the back where it gets busy during the day when people from the Loop come in and grab coffee and, you know, some desserts and things like that. And there's people there working on all sorts of different things. If somebody wants to roll to investigate to see if you can pick up on anything, or maybe even if somebody wanted to roll on their charm to see if they could get to talking to one of the people.
Oh, I will definitely do charm over investigate any day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go charm up the barista to see if I can get information from them.
Okay.
I hate
And
these
then I'll-
dice, guys.
Oh,
I'll
no.
like see if like any of the people that maybe had like stopped by Mr. Wainwright's apartment while we were hanging out are there, like anybody that he might know personally.
Okay. So Mads, you got a couple successes.
Yeah, I got 2 successes on some
Sweet.
investigate.
Awesome.
And out of 5 dice, I did not get a single one.
The highest I got. Hold on. Oh, I misrolled that, so that would be 8. So I need to roll these 2. I got 1 success.
1 success. So you guys, Connor and Mads, so as you guys walk in, Mads, I'll say you immediately see James there. He's kind of in the back, talking to one of the other baristas, and she's just kind of like having this conversation. She throws her hands up and she's like, I don't know what you want me to say. He's not here. And he sees you guys, looks up, and you can see on his face, like, he wants to talk to you, but he just very quickly rushes out the door. And as you guys are sitting there talking to the baristas, kind of like, you know, we're looking for Mr. Wainwright. What's happening? The barista's gonna say, we haven't seen him in a couple of days either. That James kid has been in and out since last week. I mean, other than that, he doesn't get many visitors. He doesn't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I mean, we haven't seen anyone around. Like, I mean, he just kind of disappeared.
Can I run after James?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me just a move roll.
Well, we moving all right.
Zoom.
I'm zooming.
Zoom. What was I gonna say? I had something, but I forgot it, so I won't do anything.
Oh, buddy.
You know, after my failure with the getting information out of the barista, I'm also going to be moving with Mads after James because, yeah, this is starting to get a little weird seeing him here as well.
Okay.
Sam's just kind of shifting on her feet, looking between them, and
Yeah.
is Connor staying in the bar?
I'm staying in the bar since this is an art.
bar.
So both Donnie and Mads failed to keep up with this kid.
Yeah. Okay, so you
Got a
see
head start, to be
James.
fair.
James darts out and he makes eye contact with you guys, and it's like as if he wants to say something to you. Gets kind of flustered. Seeing Connor probably really kind of like just gets him flustered. So you see him hop out of the door, throws a longboard down on the ground, and starts trucking. And he's on his skateboard, and he's out of Dodge.
Is there any chance that, like, let's say the time between we kind of go out and look out as we're running towards him, can I try and make another move to just, like, get the 6 feet of my stick to the bottom of his wheel and, like, stop
Sure.
him?
Yeah. So give me another give me a force on that, since you're trying to kind of change his movement.
This is the big roll.
I wanted to say, since this is an art cafe, I'm assuming they would have like a little performer stand, in which Connor would bring his guitar and like sit on a stool, sitting by it, and just start strumming, probably what he would have learned in music class.
Yeah. So
Yeah, just that.
So you guys see Connor kind of just posting up, expecting some shenanigans from the other two. Same with Sammy. She's just watching this all kind of unfold. Like, yep, there he goes. There goes Mads doing the Mads thing. And just as you go to reach for him, maybe with the back of like the scruff of his jacket, it's a jean jacket and there's music and band patches all over it. As you catch the tail end of his skateboard with your wheel, he definitely tumbles forward, but as he tumbles, the jean jacket kind of tears, one of the patches falls off, and he's still going to take off running.
Damn, he did the stop, drop, and roll right up and...
Yep, just
And
rolled
gone.
right up and took off.
I'm
Alright, I
going
guess
to
I'll
do another
stumble.
move to try and... Would it be move or force to try and flying tackle him at this point?
Okay, all right.
Which one?
Move or force?
It
I
sounds
should say
like they're
force,
causing trouble outside.
Force it is. Okay.
Well, yeah, as for me, I kind of am stumbling. I kind of stumble to a slow, and I'll take the longboard, and I'll notice the
2
patch.
successes.
2 successes. So you see him kind of like tumble forward up, and he's like, oh, shit. And he checks his pockets, make sure everything's there, and he starts running again. And you guys see Donnie a little uncharacteristically just heavy sprint straight at him with like a spear tackle, and you guys are down on the ground, and his hands go up. He's like, whoa, man, like what the hell?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I bust out laughing when I see this.
I assume that at the sound of the commotion, we just moved over the door and are leaning out. It's like,
Leaning
what
out.
is going on?
Yep.
Like, you didn't have to tackle him like that.
Yeah, we did. Listen, all right. Why do you run, huh? Go over to him. Like, all right, punk, where's the shiny thing? What are you doing over here?
Shiny thing. Wait, what? I thought we just he was acting weird. What's this about a shiny thing?
Listen, it kind of looked like he did. You didn't see the shiny thing?
I didn't see the shiny thing.
What?
Yeah.
And
No,
he's like
there-
watching you guys go back and forth, and his hands are up, and he's like, what the fuck? You know, like he's just real confused. And he's like, listen, guys, I've been working with Mr. Wainwright, and I mean, he told me that he would be at school on Monday, and now he's not, and I'm worried that one of his projects has gone sideways. And I mean, really, you guys know how fucked up my dad is. I don't know. I hang out with him to get out of my house, man. I'm just worried, and I got to get to work. And he's like, you can see underneath, he's wearing like a little Pizza Hut shirt.
Two things.
Pizza Hut.
One, we want a free pizza. Two, what kind of projects would go sideways that would result in him disappearing?
Walk over and pick up the patch.
So you guys have walked. So Connor and Sammy, have you guys walked out?
Yeah, I'm still like trying to pull myself together because I'm dying from that from the tackle,
Okay.
and I'm like trying to compose myself.
All right. So he like kind of tells you, he's like looking more at Donnie now, and he's like, listen, man, Mr. Wainwright's weird. Like, I know everyone loves him, but I mean, and I do too. He's great. He's really nice, but he was starting to dabble in some science stuff. It's like, he was making machines and doing all this stuff, and I was bringing parts from my dad's mechanic shop to him, and I mean, I don't really know what he was making, but he gave me this, and he does show you, and it's kind of like a small little, it's maybe about that big, and it's like a light blue, and it's glowing.
Yeah, that's
just kind of like a rhythmic glow, and he's like, he just wanted me to hold on to this until Monday, and I was supposed to give him it today, and he's not here to take it.
Right. So,
I'm gonna move over and like try to pull it out of his hand while he's talking.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely wouldn't fight you guys for it. I mean, we wouldn't even have to fight him. He'd hand it to you. You can check it out if you want to investigate it to see if you recognize it, or
Yeah, for sure. What's mine?
Sammy, you might want to do that too. I know you're kind of even Donnie, maybe.
What do you want from it? Investigate?
I would say investigate. Yeah.
Yeah, Donnie right now is a bit distracted with them having it. He's going to, roll off of James, and then he's going to think about it for a second before he's like, fine, whatever, and helps the kid back up.
All right.
Oh, they paid off finally.
I got
It was 3 successes, guys.
3
Whoa.
successes. So
That's-
you guys, as he kind of like pulls and his hand out and kind of, like I said, you don't got to try to force it out of his hand. He's showing it to you guys. Sammy and Connor, you both recognize this as some like definite loop technology.
Can
like,
I?
You
Can I see
recognize
that?
it. You don't quite know what it is, but you know that it is from the loop. It is a dart item. If you flip it over to the bottom, you can see the little dart emblem and kind of the code to track the technology.
How did he get a hold of this? Did he tell you?
And, James is like, I don't know, man. Like I said, he's changed over the last week or so. And, I mean, he would disappear at night. He'd be gone for days. I mean, it's just like something changed. And he goes to take it back and stick it in his pocket. And he'll tell you guys, like, I'm supposed to meet with him tonight. I'm supposed to meet up with him later tonight. We've been meeting at night out actually by, Donnie's shop, his dad's shop. And I mean, I don't even know if he's going to be there.
When he goes to reach for it, I'm holding it back, and I'm saying, "No, we're holding on to this. This is ours now."
All right. And he's like real resigned to it. So like, knowing that you and him have like the family history that you do, and knowing that all of that stuff, he's just kind of like, all right, man, like, I'm not trying to fight with you guys. Like, I just got to get to work, and I was trying to get this done before I had to get to work. So if you see Mr. Wainwright, can you at least make sure he gets that?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
No, go on.
Where are
go on,
you
go
meeting him? You said by the shop, but like what area?
By
Well, we
Donnie's house.
usually meet out back of the salvage yard. It's over by where like the perimeter of the loop is, where the dogs guard. We go a little bit off, but I mean, that's where we've been hanging out mostly.
Okay, I can find that. You go on. Don't forget
Here's
the
your patch.
Don't forget
back,
the
by
pizza.
way.
Don't forget the pizza. Here's your
Yeah.
patch. And he will kind of like go to reach for the skateboard out of Mad's hands. Are you gonna give it to him?
I'll kind of like
Give him the
Hesitate.
skateboard.
Kind
The
of hesitate
skateboard's
a little
fine.
bit.
He's
He's
running
got to
late.
go to work. Come
Yeah,
on.
I'll do like the shove in the chest kind of thing, knock him back a little bit. Like, here
Alright.
you go.
All right.
I'm trying to be nice.
So he'll just kind of resign himself, like knowing, like, fuck, all right, and he'll throw the skateboard down, hop on it, and start, give it a couple good kicks and push off. So he's heading to work. And Cynthia, how is it going over at tennis practice for you? Do you think that with all of this new information and knowing that your friends are hanging out, doing all this investigating, do you think she would be super focused on?
So I think she's going to kind of take out her frustration because she does want to be a scientist one day. So she's working hard to like get better at like engineering and math. And so the fact that she couldn't understand what was in the notebook kind of pisses her off a little bit. And so she takes out that frustration in her workout and her practice. And so her teammates are a little bit freaked out a little bit because she is really whipping the tennis balls across the court really fast today. And so she gets out of practice a little exhausted, a little panting a little bit. She kind of swings her tennis racket around a little bit. Cynthia's tennis racket is her iconic item. And so she sits there and she is like kind of impulsively like taping and retaping the handle and stuff. And so she's going to shove it in her backpack and hop on her bike. And she's going to head towards George, our mech in the back of the junkyard. And she's going to stop at the Pizza Hut and pick up a pizza for the gang and bring it. Try to win over Donny to let him like, what's it called? Like let her know the deets of the situation of the sitch. But yeah, so she's on her bike pedaling on over to George. She doesn't really know what just happened, obviously, but she's in a mood.
So yeah, I'll say when you get to Pizza Hut, you see James. He's there and he's just working in the back. You see him spraying off some of the pie pans and just cleaning up, just doing general busboy sort of stuff. And when he sees you, his eyes get huge, and he walks over and he goes, "Cynthia, seriously? I told you guys I'd meet you later. I'll bring a pizza. What are you doing here?" Like, and he's like concerned
Like,
now
what
because
is
now
it?
it feels like aggressive. Like he was like a little bit flustered earlier. Now he's like really concerned.
Cynthia asks for protection money. No.
What the hell are you talking about, James?
And he'll kind of like look around and he'll shout over to his manager and say, "Hey, Jimmy, I'm gonna take just a quick break.
I love that
Can I?"
James works with his manager, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with it. So I have like 50 names written down right here, so I'm marking them off as I use them.
Oh,
And then
I love it.
John is in the back. So
John,
that,
James, Jimmy, Joe. We'll figure it out. So, his boss lets him take his 15-minute break, and he says, "Yeah, and, I usually take a pizza home to my dad, but can you just give her my pizza?" And he'll kind of, like, shuffle you out the door, and his manager's like, "Okay," and he starts making him a little pizza. And he recites to you, Cynthia, without too much of you having to poke or prod, basically exactly what he told the rest of the group. He had been working with Mr. Wainwright over the last week or so, getting him parts from his dad's mechanic shop. And over the last week or so, his behaviors and attitude had kind of changed. He had gotten a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more weird. He was disappearing randomly, not kind of fulfilling his normal obligations. And he'll say, "Yeah, so Mr. Wainwright wanted me to bring him this thing and hold on to it over the weekend and bring it to him on Monday, and then he wasn't at school, and your fucking friends took it, so they have it now. I mean, I'll I said I'd meet you guys later. I plan on doing that.
She's going to kind of look over James and kind of not take pity on him, but like soften a little bit. And she's going to pull out her wallet and say, no, I know your dad's a piece of shit, so just, I'll pay for the pizza. I promise don't worry about it. But thank you, I guess.
Yeah. So as you guys finish your talking and you head in and you throw a couple bucks on the counter and the manager's like, oh no, I think he said he was gonna give you his. I mean, we give him like 1 free pizza a day, employees.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I guess I'll see you later, James.
And James will kind of just like.
Cynthia's just very confused why her friend group beat up this poor kid. Because as much as we don't like him, we're not like aggressive. We're not bullies.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to kind of cover up that she's a people person. She likes knowing what everyone else knows, and so she's trying to get on his good side.
Okay. Yeah. So you get your pizza and you hop on your bike and you head over to George and at the salvage shop and you guys all meet up there. So what are you doing while you get there? I would assume trying out to see if you can figure some stuff out on the floppy disks and.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you who are more inclined to, give me a description of what George looks like. I know he's an abandoned, like, mech, so a big machine, a robot, and something that has been abandoned. But what do you guys have inside your hideout? Do you have, you have a Commodore, you have radios, couches?
I think we would
Probably a very put together
probably have the torso would be the common room, and then each of the appendages would be our own custom setup. We would all have our personalities in an appendage.
Like the little alcoves.
This is becoming
this is
becoming Power Rangers or what is
Megazord,
the Pacific Rim
we've got Megazords.
segments of a giant robot.
We own the Gigazord,
We all know
guys.
that Donnie claimed the head, and you couldn't persuade him otherwise.
Mhm.
So
Can I be in the head so I can work on the computer stuff, please?
Oh, it's his space,
Please?
but it's
Please?
Yeah.
Please?
Please.
But yeah, I would imagine
Please, sir.
that the chest cavity has been stripped out of a lot of the, at this point, superfluous equipment to make a bit more space. We dragged in some old car seats and couches from the scrapyard to give us somewhere to sit that's comfortable. I'm imagining that there's this big old wooden cable spool that we use as a table.
yeah, all right. So a little apartment getaway for a bunch of ragtag teens.
Probably any of the equipment and stuff that we have, like the computer, the radios, and all that is just stuff that's been thrown out or stuff that's been discarded, probably largely by my dad's tech shop, and we've pieced a lot of it together to make it work.
Yeah, I would say, Sam, your dad probably has outfitted you with a lot of the stuff in here. Because your dad runs the Radio Shack in town, right? So it's whatever he knows that people aren't going to be using, he's like, oh, Sammy, go ahead, take that. You and your friends can use that.
I returned the favor by helping him fix stuff when he's stumped.
Yeah, right. So you guys get there. I would say probably Donnie and Sam do either a tinker or a program. If anyone else has anything in those, you can roll as well. I don't remember necessarily anyone else being super high in that stuff, but
I got Tinker if you get program.
Are we sure about that?
It's either or.
I mean, programming is my highest thing, but
And Tinker is my
I hate
highest
these
rank.
dice so
Okay.
much.
Listen.
I'm gonna pull down my beanie in frustration. Can I add a +2 to that?
absolutely, yeah. Yep. You kind of straighten up
Okay.
straighten
There's
up your
one.
NASA beanie and it gives you just a little bit of extra focus. So go ahead.
I got
and roll.
1.
That's okay. Yeah, that's good. So
That's 10 dice and I got 1, guys. I hate these.
It's
Well, I got
good.
8 dice and got 2 successes.
Oh, you just
Hate you.
yeah. So as you guys are sitting there, you boot up the Commodore and the whole 9 yards and put one of the floppy disks in, and as it's going up, you can tell, Sam, this is code. It's definitely coding and it's programming. And as it starts coming up, you can see this little box, this little square machine. Looks almost similar to what you saw in the notebook. It's digitized, obviously, there's not beautiful graphics. But you can definitely see that there's like dimensions on it, as if like this was where he was storing, like, okay, so I have figured out how to create this thing, and this is the blueprint officially. And you can see that in one of them, and then when you put the second one in, that was the blank one. When you put the second one in,
The
the one
Oregon
that was
Trail was the one with all the information.
no, the Oregon Trail one, when you put it in, is actually, when it starts up, it comes up with a bunch of logins for Dart. So it is a bunch of encrypted files, so you can
Hey,
tell
I
just
told
by
you
looking
so.
at it.
Oh boy.
And Donnie, as you're kind of like tinkering around, like noticing the math in it, and especially that first disc, kind of picking up on, you can tell some of this seems a little bit fanatical, like that he was like really getting, like he was just kind of like, it was like an obsessive amount of research is in here, and it comes off as a little bit fanatical, and you're like, wait a second, he did that same equation 17 different times, like why would he do that? And you can kind of see in that first disc like something shifting within Mr. Wainwright.
Okay, this is...
And between this, can we kind of piece together what it's supposed to do?
Not quite.
Okay, this is really weird. I can't figure out what it's supposed to do yet, but it adds up to what you're looking at. This seems to be the final product, and here's, for some reason, he has a lot of Dart information.
So
Hey,
this-
Con, you still got that little glowing thingamajigger?
Yeah.
Yeah, toss it up
wait.
here.
I'm not gonna toss it. And
We don't
it.
want to
You
nuke
won't.
ourselves.
I get
Throw
up
it.
to the,
Throw it!
I get up to the head, and
Wimp.
I slowly set it down on top of on a desk.
Right.
Hey,
Donnie, pass it back.
Mads, you want to check out something pretty epic?
Oh yeah? What's epic? What do you consider epic, eh?
Go to my room, and I'm gonna start leading him to a pretty cool thing.
Our volatile subject away
All
from.
Alright, I'll
At the
stop
very
bugging you
least,
guys.
with the information we have on screen, can we see where this glowing part fits into all this machinery?
Yeah, you can see, looking at it, that little kind of shard of mech, it fits right in the center of that cube. And there's like a lot of wiring and stuff that it kind of like fits right into the center of it. And it looks as though like the wires will kind of like connect into it. If you had the box, you could place the thing in the center and the wires would have to connect in.
So I guess this must be the power source.
Or some sort of central focus or something? Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell this thing does.
Okay, so two options at the moment. It's either the power source or it functions kind of like the motherboard and tells everything what it's supposed to do. But without the box, I don't think we're going to be able to really figure out what it's supposed to do.
I mean, we do have the blueprints and all the equations. I'm fairly sure if we wanted to, we could recreate the box and plug it in and see what happens. And from the way James was talking, I think Mr. Wainwright had it in his apartment or something.
But he disappeared, so what's to say he didn't take it with him? Or
That
maybe
is
he's
true.
working on it someplace else.
Then again, he was supposed to. James and Mr. Wainwright were supposed to meet up tonight over by the loop fence.
See, let's take a look at what these materials are. I wonder how long it would actually take to put together and if we can. And as far as like the kinds of materials, does it seem like something we could really hash together or
Give me a comprehend roll.
I'll help
You
out.
can help, yeah.
The plot thickens.
Connor, what did you want to show me, buddy?
Yeah.
So when you
two
walk
successes?
into my room, there's the full Back to the Future setup with all the amps, all just against a wall. And I say, all right, stand over there. And there's just like this mattress duct taped to one of the walls.
no.
So I start turning everything up and plug in an electric guitar that I have sitting next to it. And I put on soundproof headphones so I don't blow my ears out. And just take a giant
What are those
strum.
for?
Oh, you'll find out.
Did I have one?
I just instantly I just take a giant strum on the guitar, and the sound just hits you like a truck
This kind of like blasts me against the
against the mattress.
Yeah.
Up in the head of
like
this
anime style, like.
That's how sound works, guys.
So
Yelps.
we'll flavor this a little bit. So you're just trying to. I know you're not trying to hurt.
Yeah, I'm just
Mads,
like
but you're just trying to like, kind of like push him back a little bit with your
With the
sick, with your
setup,
sick
with the epic
tunes.
setup.
You know, yeah.
One
So
strum to rule them all.
yeah. So Mads, give me just a general body roll, just to see if it really does like kind of shake you, if you're shocked at all, or if you.
Sure. Let's
and
try
this
this
is probably in like the left arm, not the head.
Well, I mean,
Probably
still,
calls
that
for an
sound
entire
is going to
power.
It's just gonna
reverberate.
carry all the way up to the
So whenever it happens, Sam just yelps and jumps up. It's like, what are you doing?
Only one
No.
success.
That's okay, yeah. So you, Connor, as you strum out this like heavy riff, just like the start of it, and you just start kind of like moving, you can see Mads kind of like grit his teeth, and focus some of that strength that he has from his hockey days, and he's like, "Cool, man, yeah," and just like trying to be supportive, but like it's doesn't
Cool,
feel great.
brother. Totally worth the trip down here. Totally worth the blood
this
coming
isn't
out of my
boring
ear
at all.
canal.
I can't hear you.
Neither can I.
What?
This is mutually. We're doing this.
So, we will say, a couple of hours pass as you guys are going through trying to like really read these. You guys are kind of tinkering around with some of the machines and parts that you have in the salvage yard. And I'll say with a couple successes, you get like a good base to the tripod made, maybe even an understanding of the start of the box, but you really can't quite grasp the wiring. Like there's something different about what he was doing with the wiring. But you guys, Donny and Sammy, get a pretty good grasp on like, okay, well, this is what it should look like if we find it. This is about the size it'll be. This is what it'll be made of. But not quite getting it to work yet.
So the wiring seems to be something completely different from what we have access to.
Yep.
Is it a safe assumption that it's probably also something taken from Dart?
You just gotta reverse polarity, friends.
Cynthia, this is not Star Trek. You can't just reverse polarity everything.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
Cynthia shows up in the sometime of all of this.
Cynthia hears the massive, because you were in a giant metal mech. That sound
She's
is going
coming
to
into the
reverberate
junkyard.
for miles.
Yep.
So, thank you for that introduction to my character coming back into the scene. She has a pizza kind of like balanced on her handlebars, and she is going to like literally stop at her tracks and the pizza's gonna slide a little bit in her box and like curl over because she's going to be freaked out by the fact that there's some massive sound coming from the from the junkyard, and so she's going to groan because she knows it's some weird experiment one of you is doing, and she's going to pedal on and join you in the mech. And
It's really just a toss up about who it is.
she like chucks the pizza in, and like there's no easy way to climb into it, so she has to like jimmy herself up into the mech because it's a junkyard. Why would there be an easy way to do things? And so she's going to kind of appear in the hideout and go, "What the fuck was that?"
What?
Well, either that was something breaking, or Connor trying to break something.
What?
What?
Oh, they're eardrums.
Yeah. So, you guys see Cynthia pop up with the pizza that you had requested from James, but here she is with it, and it's starting to get a little bit late at this point. The sun's starting to kind of set. You guys have been here for a little while, kind of tinkering and messing with this stuff, hanging out. I would say probably Sam and Cynthia, this is when you guys start working on homework probably, as Donny starts tinkering a little bit more. Connor and Mads, you guys are just hanging out, probably playing music, doing whatever. And you guys hear like a light on the outside of the metal, just like a light, like tink, 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 like someone knocking. And it is James, and he is sweaty and gross and smells like a Pizza Hut. And he's like, hey guys.
What's the password?
And he'll get real confused. And he's like, I mean, I don't know. You guys said
Connor,
you
come
wanted
on.
All right.
I'm gonna start walking, like getting out of the mech instead of opening the door for him to come in.
Right.
He's not allowed in the hideout, guys.
He's not.
You guys aren't letting him come in. That's okay.
Nope.
So he'll kind of like notice that, and like, even as Connor walks out, like he'll try to like, you can see that he wants to say something to you, Connor, but he's like not quite sure what to say or how to say it. And he'll just kind of like kick rocks a little bit for a second, wait for everybody. Is everybody leaving and heading out with him?
Yeah.
All right. So I think right now would be a good time right here to take a break.
Cool.
Let everybody, get up, stretch their legs a little bit, and then we will finish up after this. Thanks for sticking around. So, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around through our very quick break. We are playing Tales from the Loop, and we're going to get right back into it. So the gang was meeting up with James. He had just shown up to their hideout, kind of hangout spot, and you guys were all heading out. What are you guys doing?
I think Connor is just gonna get out of the mech and just like not really make eye contact, just kind of wait for whatever's supposed to happen.
Right, so you guys are just waiting for James, and he's gonna wait for everybody to kind of come out, and he's gonna kind of like point over his shoulder and get kind of awkward and kind of tug on his jean jacket a little bit and go, yeah, so I mean, me and Mr. Wainwright have been meeting over by, you know that where the dogs kind of walk that perimeter, a little far out from that, but we were trying to use some of the energy from the loop. I don't know what Mr. Wainwright was doing, but we tried to get as close as we could, so that's where I've been meeting him. I'm supposed to meet him, tonight too. You guys can come along. I'm not sure if he's even gonna show.
So he was pirating loop energy.
I mean,
Yeah.
and
What did you
you'll
do,
see.
tap into the mainframe or something?
you'll see James get kind of uncomfortable and he's like, listen, I don't know. Listen, you guys know how, and he'll kind of like look at Cynthia and you know how fucked up my home life is. Just kind of like shrug it off. He's like, this was just something to do. So I mean, I don't even really know what he was trying to do.
Oh, let's go find out.
Alright.
As Donnie just hops out of the mech and makes his way towards the spot talked about.
Yeah, so you guys are heading that direction. I would probably say I would need everybody to roll a sneak roll because you are going to be coming up to where the loop's guards are. I do know that I believe, I can't remember if it was Donnie or Sam, one of you guys had as one of your NPC anchors or people, relationships, is the captain of the K9 unit. So I'll say you get an extra D6 on that if you need it, just in case. Because they're going to be a little bit more familiar with you, probably. Especially with
Okay,
the
so
dogs.
that would be me.
Okay.
I got 2 successes.
Is there a limit to how many times we can use our iconic item to get bonuses?
Not at all.
Ooh,
I-
then I'm gonna.
I use my guitar to help me sneak.
He's
I
playing
got
the theme
2
song.
successes.
2 successes, okay.
Inspiring
Um,
us.
I
A little bit
use
of bardic inspiration.
exactly. I use bardic inspiration in a game.
You found a way to make the guitar sound like the outdoors.
Witchcraft.
You're masking our sounds.
I mean, it is an acoustic, so it's less drumming and probably more knocking on the sides to make similar sounds.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm making us sound like nature, so we look like just nothing when people look at us.
Okay, so since we're kind of moving forward and this is a little bit dicey, she's just gonna kind of poke her beanie for comfort and follow the group, and that is a success.
So thank God.
Did anybody not get a success on their sneak?
I got 0.
Okay, so I'll say as you guys start doing this, without that success, you're gonna take a condition. You're just gonna be a little bit scared. This is like you've got dogs pacing around you. You see, people patrolling. They've got massive, what looks like, military-grade guns on their backs. This is outside of Cynthia's realm. She's just not excited about doing this. It's like breaking probably a handful of rules she wouldn't normally break unless necessary. So she's definitely going to take a scared condition.
Mechanically, because we're all new to this game, can you remind us what that means, or is it just kind of roleplay?
Roleplay, and then if something having to do with you mentally having to overcome it, you'll be down 1d6.
Gotcha.
And if it's like, so say, if you're trying to lead or do something with your heart and you're scared, you're going to just be down 1d6. But if you don't have any d6, then you won't be able to use that skill.
Gotcha.
You have to come up with a different solution. All right, so you guys, and, James, he's leading you guys very smoothly, very quickly. He's doing, what he's always been doing with Mr. Wainwright. And you guys get to kind of like the top of a little bit of a hill. There's some tall grass and some rusted metal, some definitely machines that have just been abandoned. Probably, Donnie, you would recognize it as some of the machines probably from your salvage yard that people have tried to like pull out and get out of there, but they were just too big and heavy for them to do too much with them. And yeah, you guys are there. Now, James he's just kind of waiting. So he doesn't really know what to do, and he's getting kind of anxious. He's like, listen, guys, I don't even know if he's going to show. Do you even, and he's going to like look over at Connor and he's going to say, hey man, do you have that thing still even? Did you bring it with you?
I believe Donnie has it with him at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say out of game. I think Donnie would have had it. I look back at James and I say, I don't know. It was your responsibility.
Wow.
And
Placing the
just
blame.
yeah, and he'll just like you see kind of like his shoulders slump, and he's like, all right, dude. Like he's just like, okay.
Chill out, I got it.
And you know, as you guys are sitting there, you definitely see an old rickety Volkswagen bus kind of come rolling up, and in the distance it they pop off their lights a little bit prematurely, as if they're trying to be a little bit more sneaky, and you can see they're just kind of coasting up. There's no engine sound, there's no nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. That doesn't make sense. But so he definitely notices James, and he's like, that's Mr. Wainwright's van. I mean, do you guys want me to do this and you guys can watch, or are you just going to stand here with us? Or, I mean, I don't even really know what we're doing out here with him.
Are we in sight of them currently? Or are we like chilling around a corner or whatever?
Yeah, you're kind of at the top of a hill. You would have seen like over the hill them driving up, but the person hasn't gotten out of the van yet. The van hasn't stopped yet. It's just still kind of cruising up like real quietly. You don't know necessarily if you've been seen by the person in the van, but
all right, why don't we I don't know, should we hang back and let James do this, or should we go with him?
I'm personally interested to see what's going on.
We can see from up here, right?
yeah. And as you guys are talking, you see the van stopping, and there's two people, and they're getting stuff out of the back of the van, the little Volkswagen bus, and they're kind of walking up the hill towards James, and James is just kind of like,
oh, they're coming towards us.
Kind of like talking over his shoulder, and he's like, hey guys, they're on their way if you're sticking around.
Yeah, so, as much as I don't like James, I'm not going to let him get kidnapped, so we're going to stick with him.
Oh,
We recognize the people?
Yeah, we're gonna stay here.
not yet. They're still a little far off, so
Cynthia kind of pulls
boy.
her windbreaker a little tighter around her, and she kind of breaks for a second and says, shit, James, you said there was only one of them. Who's the second one?
and James is like, I don't, and he's trying to like make it like he's acting normal, like waving. He's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. And he's like starting to get a little bit panicked.
Does one of them look like Mr. Wainwright?
As they're walking up, yeah, you can definitely tell that one of them is.
Oh shit, James, you weren't lying.
Uh,
you usually are.
Cynthia's gonna go hide behind a cluster of trees and kind of peer up behind it, and doesn't want to be the first person they see.
Yeah, I think Sam's probably gonna follow suit because that's a whole career on the line if we get caught. So, I'm sorry, best interest.
Yeah.
Donnie is just Donnie's just going to sit on top of one of the large machines. Like, this is my family's property anyways at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
You. Connor, you
Matt's
staying
right.
here or you busting
Yeah.
out?
I'm staying here. While James is waving, I'm gonna say, hey, it's fine. There are more of us than there are them. If things go wrong, I'm pretty sure we can handle it.
A minute.
So yeah.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Just, I don't know who's coming with him. If he's in trouble, then he's gonna get us all in trouble.
So yeah, as you guys are kind of watching this all happen and not scattering, I won't say you guys scatter, but you kind of find your spots. Mr. Wainwright's walking up, and you can see that he's got, Connor, since you're kind of standing there with James, like, he's got a big old bruise on the side of his face. Definitely wearing the same clothes you remember seeing him in on Friday. Not looking great. Not looking great at all. And as Mr. Wainwright notices you, and he's like, God damn it, James. What the... And you can hear the next voice. And it's a woman's voice, and she's like, shut the fuck up. Stop talking and set up the machine. And as she kind of like walks around, you see another woman, and you recognize her. Probably Sam, depending on where you're at, you would recognize her the most. Hang on one second.
The mystery.
And yeah, sorry, I
Suspense.
minimized the wrong thing. So as this woman kind of comes up with Mr. Wainwright, you can see in her hand she's definitely holding a gun, and he's walking probably against his at will, but you know, not wanting necessarily to be doing what he's doing. And it's one of the scientists from the loop.
I am spying because I want to know what's going on and if they have the machine with them.
Yes, you
So
see
who
Mr.
is
Wainwright
this?
with it. Like you see him, kind of like holding it onto the shoulder, on his shoulder, and he's like, "James, do you have what I asked you to bring with you?" And James is gonna kind of like look over at Connor, and kind of try to glance back towards where he thinks, you know, Donnie's at, and he's like, I mean, I have it, but I like don't have it.
Yeah, we have it.
Donnie's out in the open, isn't he?
Yeah. Like I'm not
is he?
hiding.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no, we're sitting like behind them. So
It's
like we're,
it's the boys all in a
we're-
row, and then the girls
Yes.
hiding in the trees.
It's
Because that's not sexist at all.
Yeah. So
I'm just thinking about their careers.
yeah,
Exactly.
just
So as all of this, and it's dusk, so it's getting dark, and this woman is holding this gun kind of out, and now seeing all these different people, she's like, Jesus Christ, I knew getting you involved was a mistake. These kids, for some reason, just think you're the greatest, and like, you can see that she's like really irritated. And Meg, give me, to get a good, clear understanding, Connor and Donnie, you notice this as Sam's mom.
What am I rolling?
hog.
Give me a mind roll to see if you notice the voice or even a heart.
We're going with mine because that's higher.
Okay.
Fuck you, I have my beanie because I'm scared, so it's
Yep.
a 7.
7. Okay.
It's like,
Go
I'm
for it.
trying to place this voice. It's like, what is this? So as I'm thinking, that's a success.
A success. So you hear her, and you have heard her scold you in the past. And as soon as you hear that exasperation and that frustration in her voice, you recognize it to be your mom for sure. And
Mom?
and are you saying that out loud?
Yeah. Because she would be just surprised. It's like, what?
Yes, yeah. So as soon as you say mom out loud, she is going to turn to you and she is going to just get like louder, and she's going to say, Sam, get home now. This is beyond what you need to be dealing with. What are you even doing out here? I didn't even think you hung out with these kids anymore.
Cynthia's going to pop out from behind her tree and back up Sam and just put like an arm on her back and say, no, what's going on here?
And as you guys are kind of like, I'll give you all kind of like an extra, if you want to do an extra d6 because there's the amount of you in comparison to her. Give me just kind of like a lead role and trying to intimidate her to tell you what's going on. Because right now she's just trying to get something accomplished, and you're not quite
Intimidate
sure
the
what.
lady with a
but
gun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. We all roll one?
Yeah,
Or-
yep.
Okay. Dope. I'm good at these.
Can I get a little theatrical with it? Can I kind of like stand up, and I want to swing my stick down to the ground, kind of like do a little whack. Be like, listen, what the hell's going on here? All right, what is this scene we're looking at? What are we trying to do here? What's going on here? And why do you need the glowy thing? guess I'll just get a little extra from using my thingy.
Yeah.
Really nervous and is starting to move forward. Like, why are you threatening them with a gun? And that is 3 successes.
I got 1 success.
1 success. So
2.
2 successes. How about you, Donny? Did you?
No successes.
No successes? Okay. So you're just kind of, so Donny, I'll say for you, you didn't necessarily not succeed. You're just watching Mr. Wainwright and you're watching James right now. And knowing that you're the one with the kind of like little mechanic piece in your pocket, you're just kind of watching everybody, not trying to do too much, just keeping yourself a little bit more quiet than normal. And as everyone else just kind of jumps on Sam's mom, she's like, gun is still pointed at Mr. Wainwright, and she turns to the kids and she goes, listen, Sam, this is bigger than you. This man had to be stopped, and you guys are not supposed to be here right now. I didn't even want James to be here, but I mean, I couldn't do anything else. And she's like, this machine that he's making, we can't have this outside of the loop, and he won't stop, and I need to get to wherever it takes you to get rid of it.
So are you
What
going to
is
shoot,
it?
are you going to shoot a grown man in front of 6 children?
So as you guys are saying that, and you're kind of trying to like get her to, stop. What are you doing? What's going on? She's starting to shake, and she's like, Wainwright, put it together and find the piece that goes into it. And she's like, now at this point, panicking. And Wainwright's going to start putting together this piece of machinery, and it's just a little tripod with a little box on the top. And he's going to motion to James, bring it over.
While she's distracted with pretty much yelling at Wainwright, can I tinker with the thing to make it not work?
The little piece?
Yeah.
Sure, give me a tinker roll.
And I'm also using my iconic item, the toolkit, in my pocket.
Okay.
So that is another +1. So that is going to be a grand total of 9 dice I need to roll.
I have a little bit of a question. I just want to ask this to make sure it would be reasonable.
Yeah.
Would I have a tuning fork with me?
That's up to you. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, just because I was like, a guitar is not going to stay tuned like an entire day. So
Sounds like you're trying to plane shift.
I'm
Donny,
done. No.
how'd it go?
1 success.
1 success. So it was successful. So I'll say you break off a little part of the bottom. So in your pocket, as you're kind of holding it there, you snap, you can feel it loosen and kind of snap a little piece off. And are you just willingly handing it over to Mr. Wainwright?
Yeah. After
Okay.
that.
After that? So you walk over and Wainwright takes it. He like is shaking. And and he places it in the center. And he like looks at it and like looks at you, Donny, and he knows that it's broken. He recognizes that there's a piece missing, and he like looks down and he's like connecting the wires in and looking over his shoulder at Sam's mom, and she's starting to become more panicked, and she's like, hurry it up, we need to get this done. And as he connects in the last little wire, is anyone else doing anything?
Can we, handing it over, since we were interacting with it, we can tell that it's broken, right? Or at least I can tell.
Yeah, you could.
Is it?
Okay, I am walking over and putting myself between Mom and Wainwright.
Okay.
She's not gonna shoot her own fucking kid. If she does, that's messed up.
Yeah, you're not wrong. She's not going to. So as you do that, she starts backing up, and she's like, listen, honey, I know that this doesn't look right, and I know that you're probably really confused, but you have got to trust me. I am not the bad guy here. I'm not the bad guy. And she kind of points over and she goes, he's been tapping in and getting into some of the loop's AI, and I need to stop him. Nobody has been listening to me in my department. I have been trying to get him to stop. It's never ending. He can do some really bad stuff with this thing. And as he's like looking at Donny, is anyone else doing anything? Are you moving, saying anything?
Donny is like taking this time to slowly back up, and he's probably going to be pushing Mads and Connor with him.
I
If
think
it's that dangerous, why? Sorry.
I was just gonna say I think I would be like just slowly approaching Mr. Wainwright.
If it's
Yeah,
that,
same. As Donovan's like trying to pull us back, I'm kind of gonna shove him off and kind of like pull forward.
if it's that dangerous, why are you having him put it together?
And she's gonna get like sigh really heavy, and she's gonna go, "Listen, this thing, it does kind of what the loop does, but much smaller, and it's not good to have it out like this." And just as she's kind of finishing that, you can see Wainwright's like watching you guys move towards him. He's connecting everything in, and I'm gonna roll a couple d6 myself to see how this goes.
First GM rolls of the night.
Oh no.
Yeah, we don't normally roll in this game, so I'm just doing it for narrative bits. So he's, like I said, he knows what this little piece is. He's going to kind of, you'll see him jimmy a little part of it, and as he looks up at you guys, he's going to clip in a couple extra little things. You see him moving things around, and there will be a blast of blue light, and it will shoot out, and everybody's going to get knocked back, including Sam's mom, and everybody's going to get pushed back. And as you guys come to, Wainwright is gone. And
Is
Yeah,
the
Sam's
machine
mom,
gun too?
Sam's mom is like, "Son of a bitch!" And like, you can see that now she's just panicked.
Is the
Is the machine
device
gun
there?
too?
Nope, the
Yeah.
machine is there.
I don't
Where-
get it. Why did you want to put it together? What
She
happened?
was like,
What's going on?
I needed to go with him. This thing takes him places, and he's been getting in and out of the loop. I need to know where the other one is. There's a second one that he transports to." And she's like, the gun is back holstered, and she's now just completely frazzled, and Mr.
What
Wainwright
if-
is gone.
What if we just break this one so then he's in the loop and can't get out?
What would you guys like to do? You could do whatever you want. She's
I'm-
told you what it does
I'm-
now.
Yeah, I'm asking her like, what if we just break this one so he can't get out?
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, she's like, we can try, but I still don't know where he's at in the loop. And I don't even know if this one went to our loop or if it went to the one in Sweden. He could be anywhere.
Well, so from
Hey,
that
Connor?
experience,
we are not trapping him in the loop. He's not the bad guy here.
I mean, he's obviously not the good guy either.
Who's the one holding the gun, Mrs. Carter?
And she, as you kind of say that, she's like, "Listen, I know that this looks bad. Sam, you've got to understand. All the stuff we have, all of that knowledge, all of that, everything in there, everybody just can't have access to it like that."
Then why did you do this yourself? Why didn't you get help?
"I was told to do this." And she's like pointing over towards where the guards are. She's like, "Everyone knows that's what I was trying to do. I just wasn't expecting you guys to be here for it."
So while all this conversation is going on, Donnie's gonna go over to the machine that's still there and take a look at it. Does it seem like it's damaged or anything?
Yeah, the inside of it looks completely burnt, as if that one little piece was like blasted apart. That blue light that kind of blasted just shattered that into.
So
so
about
he's stuck wherever he is,
So,
unless
yeah.
he can make another one.
yeah, Donnie is like, so about trapping him in the loop, I don't think we can really not do that anymore.
Oh,
Wait.
well, there you go. You have him somewhere in the loop. One of
But
them.
I thought there was an exit. I thought there was another machine. Isn't he where that other one is?
Yes. And she's like, "Yes, exactly. He's wherever that other one is. I mean, he's got to be, he can be here or he can be in Sweden." And she's like starting, like I said, she's already holstered the gun. She's not like aggressive to you guys. And she's like heading towards the guards.
Wait, but can't you just pager someone?
You- You
And
can't just
can't you just
notify?
get a hold of people?
And she's already been walking away. And she's like, Sam, I'll deal with you when I get home. I don't even understand what you're doing out here. She's just completely flustered, trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, yeah. With her completely flustered, Donnie's just going to start packing up the machine because it doesn't look like she's going to really notice him taking it at this point.
Nope. She's not taking it. And you guys had kind of started tinkering, making your own. So this might help you complete that.
So she's going, no guards are around us. We're just by ourselves.
Yeah, she's heading towards like the guard station, kind of like jogging towards where the dogs are, and
Where's James?
he's just standing there completely shocked.
We should all pick up the machine and go. Let's run.
Yep, this is
James-
mine now.
Let's go. James, do whatever you
James,
want, but don't
you're
come back to the
get-
hideout.
Oh, I was gonna say you can come in the hideout if you want to
No,
make.
fuck that.
He has the most information about what's going on.
All right, he can wait
Yeah.
outside the hideout then. Is that okay?
So, Cynthia, how are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Cynthia is kind of frustrated and confused, and there's not much she can do at the moment. But she's going to say, "Come on, guys, let's get out of here." My parents are going to
Let's
kill
go.
me if I'm home much later.
Yeah. So as you guys take this machine, you have it kind of like thrown over your shoulder, and you're heading back into the hideout. Are you guys hanging out to tinker with it a little bit more, or are you all just scattering to head home?
I
How
think
late
I
is it?
would stay.
I would probably say it's about like 8:30.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
stay.
probably stay in Tinker.
Yeah, it's New Mexico. It may be a desert, but I don't think it gets too cold at night, so Don is probably going to spend the night in the hideout tinkering with this thing.
Might have space heaters. Maybe.
Staying there and mostly just pacing because I'm not going home.
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah. So, Cynthia and Connor, you guys are staying too for a little bit.
Cynthia will stay for a bit, and then as soon as like it starts to get real dark out, she's gonna say like, "Is anything working? I mean, I need to get home. I have homework I need to do. I need to be up early tomorrow. Like, come on."
Well, the circuits are fried, but we actually have what they sort of looked like when they were functioning. So I think I have a soldering iron around here. I think we could just remake them.
Yeah. So if
Yeah,
somebody wants to do collaboratively, like if you guys want to do another tinker or program roll, and then while that happens, can I have Cynthia and Mads, and maybe even Connor, throw me out like an empathize roll or a heart roll?
I also maybe I might change this after what just happens, but heart. So that dope 6. Yeah, I'll wait.
One success.
One success. All right.
No successes, but my highest is a 5.
Okay.
Yep, 0.
0. All right. So as you guys are kind of just hanging out, Mads, you get this like feeling that you're being watched, and as you're like sitting there, right on the side of the metal of the mech, you're gonna see just like a little cloud, like as if someone was breathing on it, and in the steam, they're just gonna write shh, and then there's gonna be another one, and you can even kind of like hear it. And they'll write, "Don't speak."
I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stretch. Oh, I think it might actually be getting late. I might go home tonight. I don't know. I'm gonna go take a walk and think about it a little bit. And then I'm gonna, if anyone says anything or whatever.
Anyone stopping him?
Have a good night.
I need to go. I could get going. I'm gonna just let me know what you found out tomorrow.
Cynthia, why don't you stay for a few minutes? I'll let you know if I'm leaving or not, and then we can walk home together.
Okay.
Cool. And then I'll casually, like, climb out. But then as soon as I climb out, I'm gonna sprint over to where the like side that I was sitting on, and I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you get over there, you can't see anything, but that feeling of being watched is still there. And then you'll hear it again, and in the Steam it'll say tomorrow night, like tomorrow, and NITE, and then again, and it'll say 7 p.m.
I see this steam like coming.
Mm-hmm.
After I see the letters, can I swing through it?
You can definitely throw a force to try to like.
You got some violent kids.
Listen, there's an ethereal mist speaking to me. Okay. Just need to look at my thing.
God.
I think that's right. It's rolling. It's rolling. No success. From nine dice.
So, are you using your hockey stick? Did you use that too?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking it. I'm like swinging it across.
All right.
I
So
can
you
give
didn't
you a
get a
visual if you
success,
want.
but you got a couple fives in there. You got a handful of them. And I'll say, as you kind of like swing, like, and this is kind of blowing your mind. You're just a little bit maybe scared. Maybe that you don't like admitting that that's what you're experiencing, but like, what the hell is happening, right? And as you swing, I'll say like there's a connect, but there's nothing there. So like you can hear like a.
There's a thud. Like I get a thud out of it. All right, as I swing, I'm gonna tackle forward. I want to go towards the thud, and like instantly when I connect, I'm gonna like kind of stutter, and then just kind of like tackle forward and see what I get.
All right, do another body or force.
All right, let's be without the stick. Oh boy. Okay, 4 successes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you feel a body under you now. Like you have tackled what feels like an adult male.
Okay, now I want to kind of like I want to take the stick. Am I close enough to the mech?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna push the stick out. And I'm gonna start hitting the side of the mech. I'm gonna start yelling, "Hey! Hey! Get out here!"
Cynthia, who
I'm gonna
already
start
was out of the
rushing out.
way, is joining.
Yeah, I'm kind of in like a full mount straddle position, like holding like knees under the armpits, like holding this person down.
Yeah. So
Do I see anything?
you don't see anything.
I see nothing.
You see nothing. He is completely invisible.
Oh God.
So to you guys, as you guys walk out of this mech, you see Mads kind
Is
of
he
like
struggling?
struggling. No, he's not struggling,
Just
but
there.
he's, Mads is kind of like straddled over top of something, like holding his stick kind of aggressively, but it looks like he's doing it at nothing.
Guys.
And there's no voice, there's no sound, there's no nothing.
There's not even dust being
Mads.
kicked up by the struggling?
Just, I mean, there is, but just like from what Mads is kind of like holding everything down and kind of stopped at this point.
Did you fall over? What happened?
Guys,
What
get
are
over
you
here.
Doing?
What?
Get over. Get closer. I
I'm
don't
quickly
know what's happening.
walking.
Yeah, Donnie's making his way over too, like bewildered.
What's going on? Did you hit your knee? What happened?
No. Listen. Someone tried talking to me. Can I grab some dust and throw it on where I'm sitting? Try and get like a figure out of the dust.
Yeah, you do that, and it definitely, you can see where it like hits and falls off something, but there's no physical shape that you can see. You would need to maybe put a jacket on it, or to be able to see a physical shape. Right now, when you throw the dust on it, it kind of like falls as if there's a shape there, but you still can't see anything.
But that's still enough to tell us that there's something there.
Correct. Yep.
Guys,
You guys are all now seeing.
I'm-
someone smarter than me. Help me out, please.
I'm taking
so
my
you're not
jacket
crazy.
off.
So someone
and
helps you and you're gonna mug them?
Someone helps us? What do you mean helps us? What part of this is helps us?
You just
Some
said
spooky...
some guy is helping you out.
No,
Is that what I said?
no,
You did.
you said somebody help me.
You did say
No,
something
I said
else.
somebody help me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm taking my jacket off and I'm gonna like throw it on the ground where Mads is trying to hold this person down.
Yeah. So you guys are able to kind of throw your jacket. It's small. This is a grown man, you know.
Yeah, and I guess I'll start to back up a little bit. Like, hey, put this on, and stay here and talk to us or whatever. Or like, I'll hold him by the arm, like lift he or she up, whatever it is. And like we'll
go
tell them.
somewhere.
So to
Yeah.
everyone else, it just kind of looks like
A floating
Mads,
jacket.
Mads is just holding a jacket in the air and like
But
yelling
it's
about
form-fitting.
things.
It's like there's a form there.
There's a form underneath the jacket, but it just looks like a jacket
Wait.
kind of floating.
Sam, Sam, bring me that notebook.
Can you talk?
Nothing.
Yeah,
no
she-
words.
She goes and grabs the notebook and is kind of looking through it and then just kind of thinks and looks up. It didn't hurt. There's not another machine, is there?
And
It
you'll hear and you'll see the jacket move closer towards where he was kind of writing in these messages to Mads, and you'll hear and he'll write N-O. Nope.
So that's how you were getting into the loop. You were using it to turn yourself invisible, but why?
Cynthia's gonna all of a sudden throw her backpack on the ground and root through it and pull out her tennis racket and then find her like neon orange and pink and green like pencil case and grab some marker or Sharpie or pencil out of it and hand it to she'll hand it to Mads and then kind of go. Who has the notebook at the moment? I assume it's Sam right now. And she's just gonna be like, "Come on."
Holding it. Like, what do I do with this? What do I do?
Also,
what's
we
happening
probably
here?
shouldn't be
Actually-
doing this out in the open,
Hey,
guys.
do you have another one of those Sharpies?
Fuck it, Sam. And so she's gonna take the notebook from Sam and kind of just hold it out in front of the magical floating coat. And if he takes it, she's gonna flinch and like take a few steps
Don't
back.
like that. Don't like that.
Yeah, he definitely takes it, and I mean, you guys are now pretty well context-wise. You're able to know that like that was definitely. I think Donny had picked up on it, or Sam had picked up on it. There was no second location. It was not a time or a space travel kind of similar to the loop. He was just made himself invisible and was sneaking in and out of the loop. And it is Mr. Wainwright, and he's going to grab the pen and he'll scribble very quickly the marker, and tell you guys like, I can't stay here, and it's like frantic scribbling. Again, kind of like how you guys noticed at the school, some of his notes had become kind of fanatical. The loop is after me. Help me. Meet me back here 7 p.m. tomorrow.
You can turn invisible? That's awesome.
Why would the loop be after you? Does this go away at some point?
He'll write, I only have it 24 hours with each compound. So like the little thing, it only lasts for 24 hours. So
Oh, it's not a power source. It's literally a chemical compound. Okay. That would explain why I couldn't figure this.
Okay, I'm so not okay with any of this. I need to go home. I guess fine. I'll see you here tomorrow at 7. But I gotta leave. And Cynthia is just like bugging out. She's not okay with this. She's still scared from before. And so she's going to grab her bag and shove all the stuff back inside and zipper it up and like head to the head and just start walking away from
So I guess that's
The
so I can
junkyard.
let go of this thing, right?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
let go of Mr. Wainwright now.
Hey, Cynthia, before you go,
What?
I'm gonna call my dad and tell him I'm staying at your house.
Oh, okay. Are you coming with me then?
I might come by later, but no, I'm not staying there.
Okay. Fine. Sure.
Hearing this, Donnie's just going to go walk over to like some junkered car, pop open the trunk, and pull out some spare blankets.
Okay.
Can I borrow the phone in your shop?
Yeah, sure.
So we have Donnie and Sam walking up to the shop to make a phone call. Connor, Mads, what are you guys doing? Mr. Wainwright's standing there he's still standing there, not writing anything or doing anything necessarily, but you can see the books in the notebook that it's his notebook. So he's like, you can see he's flipping through the pages to make sure everything's there.
Take that shit back.
Yeah, like he flips to the end page and you see him write out, I need to get into my apartment.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Mads. Do you want to try to help him get in tonight, or do we want to do that in the morning?
Well, gee golly, we don't have much time, right?
I mean, kind of depends on what you guys want to do. It's a school night. Your parents are going to be expecting you home soon.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wake up in the morning and go to school and do the whole rigmarole again. Unless you want to deal with the consequences of going out, staying out late, getting in trouble, skipping school. There's a lot of options.
Yeah, who needs school? Connie, you with me?
I mean, the only cool teacher isn't in school right now, so I'm fine.
All right, let's go on an adventure.
I think I'll stop by the front, or like by the storefront, and just let them know, and just let the group know. Hey, Mads and I are gonna take a walk. We might be back.
Walk.
An actual walk this time
An actual walk, yeah.
So
with the invisible teacher.
Yeah, you might want to take the jacket off or
yeah.
just let it
Yeah,
go.
I was gonna say I'm gonna like pull my jacket off of him and put it back on.
So what are you guys doing with James? So James he's watched all this. He kind of walked out with you. He was there. Hadn't left
James,
yet.
just go home.
Say, what does James want to do?
Yeah,
How is he reacting?
So he's definitely probably in the same boat as Cynthia. So Mr. Wainwright had kind of been like his only healthy support. And he's a little bit panicked, confused, scared.
If he's freaking out, we can say that Cynthia would have like put an arm around her and just be, "Let's get you home, okay?"
All right. Yeah. And you guys can go ahead and I'll say he leaves with you, Cynthia, when you leave them. So Connor and Mads are heading to
the art
gallery.
gallery with Mr. Wainwright.
All right. And Donovan and Sam, do you want to go with them, or do you want to stay, or what would you like to do?
Do some studying.
You could do some tinkering. You could go with them.
So we'll kind of walk through making the phone call for a minute there. It's a late night for the shop. Like probably closes about 9 o'clock because there's always somebody crazy who comes in at the last moment. Just leaves a message on the voicemail saying, "Hey, I'm staying over at Cynthia's. She's having a hard time with some of her algebra homework, so we're gonna work on that. And I'll just go straight to school in the morning. I'll see you late. I'll be home sometime tomorrow night." And that's just the end of the conversation. And
The end.
hi, I'm lying to everybody now.
Well, and don't forget, when Mom comes home from work, she's going to hear that and know that you're also, I mean, you might technically be staying at Cynthia's towards the end of the night or going there, but she also is very aware that you are involved in something
Yeah, but
so-
Dad.
But
Yeah,
yes,
right.
we're lying to Dad for two different reasons.
Mhm.
Right.
And just looks over at Donnie, and I imagine at about that time, once the phone call ends, they come by the shop, and
Yeah, we can make that work.
Mhm.
That it all kind of coalesces the right way, and you guys can leave it all at the same time
Yep.
if you'd like.
Yeah, I think we're going with them, right?
yeah, we probably should.
All right.
Now we have to be sneaky through town to not be seen.
Yeah, so you guys
You
definitely
make
know the later it
sound that
gets, the later it gets, there's a curfew, there's wild creatures at night here in this town. So if you're trying to be sneaky, I would need everyone that's going to Mr. Wainwright's apartment to give me just a general sneak roll.
Dope. 5 dice. How well is this going to turn out?
Good. I got at least just one success.
I got 2 successes.
Fiddling with
One
that baby
success.
again. It did not help me. I have no successes. I have 2 5s and 2 1s.
So I'll just say I'll say without any successes, you're just gonna take a condition on scared, where if you have to make any of the mental or heart checks, depending on what we're doing, you might just be down 1 dice. Where you're just really thinking about how you just saw your mom, and with the separation with your parents, it's like when you see her, it's always just kind of weird anyways. And now it's even more weird, and it's just really weighing a lot on you.
So as
Yeah,
we're
that's fitting.
as we're kind of sneaking through, I kind of want to nudge Samantha and just gonna be like, yo, so Sammy, why are we helping Mr. Wainwright again? Because we don't really know what's happening, right?
I want to know what's going on, why he was trying to get into the loop. If he's doing something that's not okay, then we can take everything that we know and I'll give it to my mom. But we don't know what's going on. So the most logical thing to do is to figure out what's going on, and then we can make the best decision from there.
What if you thought what happens when if your mom turns out to be the bad guy?
I don't know. I don't have any idea.
So as you guys kind of make your way, you get to the goat's head, and you get to, and it's all closed. Mr. Wainwright, for the most part, he can't say anything. He's got his notebook, and he writes down in the notebook, no key, took my stuff. They took all my stuff. We're gonna have to break in.
I knew it.
Or
We were breaking in.
Yes, Mash,
Or-
we are.
if
All right. So
if you just need a safe place to stay, I'm pretty sure Mikey I pull out a key ring, and I'm like, I think Mikey gave me a key to the back room, and you might be able to sleep in there if you just need a safe place for tonight.
And he'll write in the notebook, I need to get to some of the stuff that's in my apartment, and then we'll go right there. That's a great idea. So,
all right. So at the very least, can we get inside the building because there is an apartment complex above it, or do we need to also break in that door?
Is there a
So-
fire escape?
Or do we
I was just
climb?
gonna say, if you think of this as like an apartment above a place, right? The entrance to the apartment isn't through the goat's head. It's kind of like a door to the right of the door of the art shop.
Mhm.
So there would be the
Door.
2 doors, and one door would have steps to go
Yeah.
up to the apartment, and then the second door would be the entrance. So there's that, his own separate entrance to his apartment, but it's right on that main strip. It's facing the main road through town.
Is it just his apartment?
Yep, just his apartment.
So no one else in, like, it's not like a complex. It's like a single, that apartment is a one person's apartment.
Oh.
All right. So in other words, that door is in fact locked. So that does bring up the question: is there a fire escape around back?
Give me an investigate.
Okay.
Can I also do an investigate since I
Sure.
brought up the idea?
Yeah, no successes on the investigate on my part.
Investigate is mine. I'm okay with that. I got 1 success.
Okay. So you definitely do see that there's a fire escape, but it's one of those old city ones where you would need to get up to the ladder to pull it down, and it would
Gotcha.
probably make a lot of noise. Old heavy metal fire escape.
Okay.
The lock. Do you have a spare key, or can we pick the lock, because that's gonna get attention.
Somebody
do you know
wanted
how
to try a tinker, you could try to pick the lock for sure. Or if you wanted to just try to force the door open, you could.
Here's the idea. All right. Connor,
Yeah.
you go up on Donovan's shoulders.
Okay.
Donovan, you go up on my shoulders.
Hang on. This seems like a very
Now listen. It's okay. We'll lift up, and we should be tall enough to grab the ladder. And as we pull it, we'll pull it down to each other, so that we can walk it down to us.
So that it doesn't fall and hit the ground.
So it doesn't fall. We can walk it down.
But is the window up there even unlocked?
I mean,
We won't be able to see it. It's
it's
easier
a
to see us
window.
from the front of the store than it is from the side of the alley.
Mhm.
Is the door on the front side of the building, or is it along the side?
no, it's on the front side.
On the street
Oh.
The
side.
Wow.
door's on the front facing the street.
Okay.
The entrance is on the side, or the fire escape. So while you guys are deciding that, Cynthia, you get home, and Sam's mom is there.
Uh-oh.
So she is parked in her car, in the driveway, and she sees you walking up. Are you doing anything? Are you here?
Proper, are you alive?
Sorry, what's up?
He went off in space
The
for a bit
suspense.
That was so tense, and then
Like, what?
what?
I thought you were about to pull some like
I
5D
really did that.
chess out.
So I'm like, I cast fireball in the car.
I cast
So-
napalm
This works
on
well
the car.
because Cynthia can't sleep, and she's struggling to do her homework, and she can't think straight, and she can't stop thinking about what happened tonight, and so she is feeling antsy, and is gonna look out her window, which is, like all 80s movies, conveniently just at the top of a trellis with vines and a small roof, a roof down to a trellis down to the outside. And unlike anything that she's ever done before, she's gonna open the window. She's gonna stuff a couple pillows into the bed, and she's gonna crawl out the window and out onto the lawn.
So as you do that, as you start making your escape, Sam's mom is in her car watching you do this. So she's parked right at the bottom of your yard. And as you kind of hit the grass, are you running? Are you
Is
acknowledging
it the
her?
front yard or the backyard that your room is facing?
I'll leave that up to Chrissy and narrative arcs, but I
Yeah.
imagine it's a out of the trellis, look up, see her in her car, looking at
Oh
me,
shit!
and a
correct.
sprint
Yep.
to the sidewalk.
Okay. So just give me a move roll to see how quickly you move.
Oh yes, the thing that for some reason my tennis player is not very good at.
Need to move that much for tennis.
Yeah, all tennis players are statues.
It's all the
You
arm
have-
and the hips.
You have to have a lot of cardio.
No, it's not.
is
I'm
what
not
it is.
terrible at it.
It's all short bursts.
Are you wearing your tennis jacket?
Oh, I was strolled up. I thought I got another 1-1-1-1. I was very confused. 0 successes though.
Okay, so she's going to see you kind of try to start taking off. And she's going to run up and just kind of grab you in like a bear hug and just go, shh, 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 shh. Don't yell, don't yell, don't yell, don't yell. And she's kind of just like pulling you back towards her car.
Cynthia will scream.
Okay. So as you yell, you see a light flip on in your home. And it's going to take your family probably a minute or two. Do you want to try to escape her grapple or move or do anything?
Well, yeah, I think a little bit. I'm not sure she's going to be very successful, but she can try.
Surprise adoption. You gotta love it.
Is that force or move?
Go with force or move. Either one. Force or move.
Whichever is better.
A singular success.
Okay, so as you let out this yell, this scream, she kind of just flinches back, letting go a little bit, and you take that as your mark, and you're just taking off running down the street, or are you heading back into your home?
I think it's kind of fight or flight at this point, so it is just straight onto the street.
Okay, all right.
And I would know of Mr. Wainwright's like the what do they
The
call it?
condition
Goat head?
that's happening.
I
The
probably
goat head?
would have.
No.
Yeah.
I probably
Yep.
would have talked to
The
you about
art
it
place
before.
or whatever, right?
You do. Yep. Yeah.
And so she doesn't necessarily know that's where he lives, but she knows that that's like his go-to, and so she's gonna sprint towards downtown.
Okay. So you'll see lights in your house start to turn on now. So now your family's definitely aware that you're probably not in your home. And you know, Sam's mom has hopped back into her car and is driving not with you. She's not driving the same direction. She's actually driving away, as if to like kind of take off. And I'll say you within decent time. You make it over to where everybody is, and for everybody that's back there, how did you decide you're going to get into Mr. Wainwright's apartment?
I think
Donnie
we're gonna
is
try
Trying
Still
to quietly
thinking-
lower the ladder.
We're
So
gonna,
are we
we're gonna
human
quietly lower
centipedeing
the
this?
ladder.
Donnie
Doing
is complaining the entire time, but yes, we're doing the human ladder.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm the
So-
shortest, so I should be in the top actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
established you're at the top. Donnie's in the middle, and Mads is at the bottom.
All right.
Gotcha.
So everybody, give me
Take a step away in case they all fall over.
a move roll. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so good at those. That's
Move
6.
Roll.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6.
8 for me.
Okay.
And only 4 for me.
Okay.
I did not get a success, but the highest I got was a 5.
Okay.
Same situation for me.
1 success.
One success. All right. So you guys, for a solid half an hour, it's like a human attempt at like a card tower where, you know, for a second, Maz will have like a good grip, and then Donnie will fall off, and then they'll do it again. And it just goes on for a while. But sooner or later, you guys manage to get up and pull the ladder down. And when you get up there after climbing up, the window's definitely unlocked. It's even kind of like jarred open a little bit, as if he had opened it because it got hot in his apartment or whatever the case was. So you guys were able to get in fairly quickly.
See, I told you guys, just clench your abs a little bit, and like just try and get your balance going. Okay, that's all we need. We just need a little bit of balance.
But I have stubby arms and it's hard for me to reach.
It's okay. You know, we jumped a little bit, but that's fine.
Let's let Mr. Wainwright go last, so it doesn't look like we're letting somebody in.
So you guys all managed to get into his apartment, and his apartment is a wreck. when I say fanatical, think like serial killer style fanatical.
Red yarn
Just red
connecting.
Yeah, like things connecting other things, big pieces of paper, like what he thinks is diagrams of the loop. I mean, like big red circles, like circling different things, pictures of people like Sam's mom and even Cynthia's brother, and like some of these like people who you guys are all very familiar with. And you guys get into this apartment and you can't see him moving around necessarily, but you can hear him kind of like shuffling and moving things. And what are you guys doing taking this all in? Like, I mean, you definitely can see someone who's like not mentally stable.
Out of character, I'm beginning to doubt my trust in Mr. Wainwright.
Yeah,
But I'm not there.
I
I don't know. This is making me feel more confident.
Yeah, I think I would be. I don't know, because I want to like cover up the noise that the shuffling would cause, but that would also make more noise.
And if it sounds like somebody's living there, they're just gonna assume that somebody's living there.
but also like they knew that Mr. Wainwright had been gone, and
But
like
he could have come back.
he could have.
The
come
only
back.
real person that's out to get Mr. Wainwright is Mrs. Carter.
The entirety of the loop.
No, the loop didn't. I think the loop
Actually,
didn't
yeah,
want to.
She got orders about going to get this
Oh,
guy.
did he? I
So,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
she said that she received orders to do this.
For some reason, I thought
originally-
I thought she was the only one who was saying it, and no one believed her. But
Yeah,
Her
originally she
department
said
didn't
no one,
believe her.
her department
but
didn't
like
believe
when
her.
it happened, they were like, "Go do it now."
Yeah, so later on they were on board with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think then in that case, if we're gonna go with the, they're just gonna think he came back if anybody else is here. I think I might do a quiet little tune to like try to relax everyone's minds, and like help him find what he's doing, like what he needs to find better.
So give me a heart roll.
Ooh.
And if you want to kind of give everybody inspiration, if you have a success, I'll let anybody that's with you now, like I think Sam's the only one who has a condition, will lift her condition.
Awesome. So how do luck points work? Because I have one.
You can re-roll. That's a re-roll.
All right. And then I also have I'm using my guitar, so that's another one. Dope. I just wanted. Oh my god! I got 2 successes.
Okay.
Yay.
So Sam will say your condition is kind of lifted as you hear him kind of start tuning the guitar, just taking in everything that's happening. You get just the ability to calm down for just a second, and you're feeling a little bit better. Like, okay, we're figuring some of this stuff out. It might not make too much sense, but here we are. Cynthia, I'll say with how quickly you're trying to move, you make it there. You can see some movement in the apartment. It's dark, but you definitely can see some people, some shadows in the windows of the front-facing windows.
Cynthia's
they
gonna
have,
arrive at the goat head. I keep forgetting it. Goat's head.
The
Yeah,
goat's head,
yeah.
Yep.
And you're gonna hear from outside her rattle the door, and wrote that neither of the doors are open. And she's gonna try one more time, and it's not gonna move. And so she's gonna like awkwardly pace outside, and notice that she's not alone because like it's her bedtime, but not adults' bedtimes. And so she's gonna awkwardly pretend that didn't happen, and just like wave at someone, and just like kind of wander down into the alleyway, trying not to get noticed.
Yeah. So as you do that, if you want to give me a sneak roll, go for it.
Do I want to? No. Will I?
So-
Because that's what the narrative insists. Yes.
So would we hear like the doors rattle? Like, will we hear the doorknob being?
I mean, if you're paying attention to it, yeah. If you would.
I'm trying to
She- I
decipher
mean,
what this
Cynthia
stuff
got a
is.
success
I
anyway.
don't know, he
so,
is
Yeah.
playing music though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think if that
Connie's-
were the case, I would like look out and worry to think that somebody found us.
Yeah, so you're able to, as she kind of like shakes the doors, you like look out the window and you see Cynthia kind of like very quickly darting off into the alleyway. but there was a success anyways on the roll, so you get over to the emergency exit, and you can see that's probably where they went up, because it's down like it normally isn't like that. Usually those ladders are up, and so you could definitely make it up there pretty quick and catch up with them.
Right. So yeah, Donnie's trying to figure out what's actually trying to be going on in the conspiracy nest
Okay.
of a dartboard here.
All right. So give me maybe
Comprehend?
comprehend. Yeah.
Where I am rolling to win with the calm kind of washing over her. Oh, okay. We're focused again. Let's
I hope you got a success because I didn't.
find out.
Dun 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 dun.
That is 2 successes.
Okay. So yeah, you guys, as Donnie's like frantically trying to like go through the papers, and even sometimes Donnie, when you pick up like a notebook or something, you feel it being like pushed back down as if somebody doesn't like want you looking at it. And you can feel things kind of like being moved around and moved out of your space. Like, so even if you were trying to, it just wasn't going to happen because of Mr. Wainwright's like moving things out of your hand, or, you know, whatever the case is. But as Sam kind of just like relaxes into it and notices what's happening, you can tell that there was like, he believes that, you know, there's a conspiracy happening within the loop, that they're just brainwashing everybody, and that everybody's in danger, and that the whole town is it's just bad news to have it here. And you can tell that he's part of a group where they're trying to just bring down the loop, kind of like a rogue coup sort of group of hippies who have these wild ideas about what's happening in there, and they don't know if it's true or not, but they definitely believe something's happening behind those doors, and they're set out to figure it out.
So you were trying to break in to get proof.
And he doesn't necessarily acknowledge that. So what you guys see are some different small little bottles kind of like jingling together, and you see kind of that same little shard looking piece, and he's filling some different chemicals in there. You see it shake a little bit and set it back down, and he's definitely doing something to create probably another one of these formulas. And as all of that happens, you guys hear outside a couple of cars pull up.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Can I take a little peek-see out the window without leaving the apartment?
Yeah. You definitely recognize one of the cars as Sam's mom's car, and then just a couple of other white vans.
Marked vans.
Unmarked vans.
Not suspicious in the
That's-
slightest.
Nope.
Wow.
Hi, Cynthia.
They're not suspicious. They're not
No,
She's
suspicious.
just-
that
she's
was
just
that was
in.
that was proper nerdy saying things.
Still, Cynthia
but-
has to come into this narrative at some point.
No worries.
Yeah.
She let's say she
Oh, I
arrives
thought
at
she
the
already came
window.
up.
Let's say she arrives at the window right when the cars pull up, and so she sees them and freaks out a little bit, and then like knocks on the window, and peeks
Did we
her-
close it?
no, there's windows have 2 parts.
Yeah. You're standing up, so you knock on the top part.
I tap on the window and peek my head in and say, "Let's get the fuck out of here, guys."
We really need to work
Yeah.
on signals.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here is the signal.
And
Yeah, that's the signal.
Cynthia's gonna look in and see the like mess that is this conspiracy theorist's apartment, and just kind of like cringe for a second and like take a deep breath before looking back out at the cars and scurrying down the fire escape really quickly.
Okay. So you're moving, you're trucking without even no questions asked. Getting
Yep.
out of
Yeah.
there.
I'm
As
gonna
far
It was not a suggestion; it was a command.
command.
we're doing
Okay,
this.
so
Yeah.
You
Uh,
casted mass
I w-
command. I see.
Wow, crazy guy.
yeah.
I think I want to. When I see which way that Cynthia is running, I'm gonna take my tuning fork and throw it in the opposite direction. So it makes a loud, ringing noise, almost like somebody like is using a crowbar or breaking some kind of metal to distract the people in the vans.
Okay. So just out the window, you're tossing it like. Are you letting it go?
I'm just chucking it as hard as I can in the opposite direction of Cynthia.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
So since I was already kind of going through, I'm sorry for the, but since I was already kind of going through stuff and was piecing it together, does any of this actually look like it's substantial? Like it could actually be proof, or?
Yeah, some of it seemed legit, but some of it seemed really out in left field.
Okay.
But there were a couple of pieces of paper where, like I said, they had your mom's name, even Cynthia's brother's name on there. Like, they had done enough digging to know that there was, like, legitimate people. And you're like, now that you've seen your mom with a gun and you're thinking, oh, shit, maybe this is, oh, my God, yeah, maybe. You don't quite know, but you have a good feeling like, oh, okay.
So as far as that goes, I'm going to take as much as I can. Like, that seems like it's important. Maybe more of the, like, detailed stuff, things that actually seem like legitimate proof, like whether or not he's got files or things like that actually taken from the dart. Also, he's not keeping the thing.
The mixture he just made?
Excuse me, sir. That mixture, that bottle with the little compound, you're not keeping it. It's mine now.
Are you going to try to take it away from him?
Yes, I am.
All right, give me
I want answers.
Give me a force.
Of course.
Cynthia has bolted. She's warned you guys there's people coming. You can hear the doors closing, and sliding shut of the vans, and they're definitely moving towards the apartment. So.
Come on, let's go.
I don't succeed.
Okay, so you try to, like, where you think his body is to, like, push him maybe, or even just snatch it out of his hand, and the compound kind of, like, moves a little bit, and you're not quite able, and you guys hear the front door just crash in.
All right. That's
Damn it.
That's our signal. Let's go.
Time to bolt, zoom.
out the window. Down
Yes.
the fire escape.
You guys all dart out, and you're in the alleyway trying to sneak away, or are you just darting? Just
Darting.
away.
Just darting.
All right,
Darting.
We don't
everybody.
have the time for that. Goodbye.
Yeah, give me a move roll, just a general move roll.
Dope. Another 6. I'm good.
All right, good.
I keep using my beanie, but like
I got
it's
two
a nervous tick at
successes.
this point. It's just a nervous tick. Like
That's okay.
I got 2
it still
successes.
doesn't help me. That's not a success.
Oh no.
No successes. Highest roll is a 5.
One success.
Cynthia succeeded.
Cynthia's good. So we, 3 of you guys, you get moving pretty quick, and you get out of there. Donny, I'll say it takes you a little bit to get down the ladder, but as you're kind of coming down the ladder, while you aren't getting away quicker, and you see a stocky, heavy set man like look out the window and kind of down the emergency exit at you, definitely making eye contact. As he kind of like looks at you, he like takes you in as if he's like noticing you, but turns right back around, and you can hear like a of the gas oven, and within minutes, you see the vans kind of just rushing away. They're peeling out. People are running, and the apartment is up in flames.
Oh.
So he still had the compound, right? The compound did not go invisible. Do we see that actually coming out?
Give me an investigate roll, because some of you were taken off, so I didn't know if you were sticking around to notice. But give me an investigate roll.
I didn't succeed, so I'm the slowest one here.
I didn't succeed either, so yeah, I'm right there with you.
I feel like it would be unfair for the people who took off to.
Yeah, if you
no, I
took
got
off, you
a success
definitely
there.
wouldn't have.
No, yeah.
Got a success.
Cynthia is gone.
Cynthia's gone.
I succeeded, but I would typically be like the last one to like actually lead the alleyway. Like
And
I'd
you
probably
got-
be waiting at the bottom of the fire escape.
And
To
I
make
got
sure
2
everybody was okay?
successes. Mhm.
Yeah,
Not a success.
and then take the fuck off.
Yeah. So you guys, as you guys are watching, and this all happened so quickly, you definitely do see the opposite direction of you guys. you definitely see that compound, what looks like hovering in the air, just quickly making its way away. So
Cynthia
you guys are
follows.
still in the alleyway. A couple of you have taken off, darted the opposite direction, going towards your house, and it appears as though he's seen which way you guys are going and going the opposite way.
Cool.
I'll probably just say, like, we can meet up with him tomorrow. We don't have to be here.
Yeah, we're not going after that right now. Hopefully he'll keep his word.
I don't think our homes are safe right now.
Guys, all of his equipment is at the junkyard.
Let's go back to the junkyard.
Yeah.
We left all the stuff there. We gotta make sure everything stays there.
Yeah.
Or move it out away from there.
And I'm gonna say that. Oh God, did one of us get the fucking notebook back from him?
No.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that Sam she already had the floppy disks, so she has those. But because that's contraband, you don't want to leave that lying around.
Yeah.
So it's either hidden or on her.
Also, we also just saw them destroy an apartment.
Yeah.
So I think if anything else happens, this is a little bit in our favor.
It's kind of incriminating the loopers, you know?
Exactly.
I don't feel safe waiting until tomorrow.
I mean,
If I have to, Sam, you're not safe at home, and it's only a
Hey.
matter of time before they're gonna find you. Let's
hey,
get.
Donny. Oh,
I'm
sorry, go
sure
ahead.
that he's going to be going back to the junkyard too. Let's go right now.
Hey, Donny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we know if George has any artillery? Would that be
Yes, we don't have ammunition though.
okay?
Has George been able to move since the last time we kind of blew him up?
I got the armor working again. That's about it. And it's not fast.
How fast can we get the legs working?
I said we're becoming Pacific Rim.
So you
look.
guys manage to get back to the salvage yard, and you get into George, and you're just taking in everything that's happened, and just kind of mulling over everything. You definitely still have the floppy disks. You have all of that, but that's it. That's where we're gonna end the game. We'll have to play again to see what happens.
All right.
Wow, this hurts my soul so much.
Mysteries.
Blown up apartment and an invisible man, an organization, a government organization, like running around trying to take care of its loose ends.
I definitely want this to finish with a Godzilla-esque scene of us tearing down the loop.
Look. I just need a couple more working engines and I can get the legs working again.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you all for playing. This has been a lot of fun for me. Again, Tales from the Loop is like a really cool little system. If you've never played it before, it's much more narrative and collaborative than most. So thank you again for all of you being such cool kids. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do some outros. Same order that we did intros to. Starting with, I think, Meg.
Hey guys, I have been Meg Mysteria. I was playing our now very confused and very worried little computer future astronaut, Samantha. Bro, this is getting wild. Are we doing another thing?
We're gonna have to.
We have
Like it, yeah.
We don't have an ending, so. But yeah, it has been a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing this.
Yeah, so it's me, Miji Critical. Played Mads Erikkson. And yeah, Daddy just wanted his kid to be like an NHL star, but here I am about to be a Jaeger pilot. Down the loop. Yeah, next up.
Hi, my name is Proper Nerdy. I played Cynthia Adams tonight. I am a staff member at TPK Roleplay, so you can see me in things like this very pretty overlay. I do a lot of design work for TPK and promo images and videos and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this premiere episode of Vibe Check, our Patreon exclusive with our good old DM Chrissy here. And you'll catch me on lots of other shows, so check us out. I mean, if you're here, you probably already have checked us out, so let's be honest. You know what's going on.
We've made it this far.
Over to you,
Yeah.
Shockpoint.
Might as well stick around.
All right, and yes, I'm Shockpoint Failure, the usual bringer of chaos and wailing for TPK. I will continue to do so, as well as showing up in various one-shots and whatnot. I was playing Donny, the Tinkerer. I guess it would be the best way of describing this guy. But yeah, this was fun. Catch me in hopefully the conclusion, whenever that is.
Mhm.
And over to you.
Hi everyone. I'm Nerdwardo. You can find me at Nerdwardo in the Discord server. I play in TPK's Tomb of Annihilation campaign. Sometimes VPS, Sherlock Investigations. I played Connor Adams for this session. I'm super hyped to come back to it later. Honestly, thank you guys for just for this opportunity. This is an awesome game, and stick around. Definitely stick around for the next session.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. So again, my name's Chrissy. I was the GM for Tales from the Loop, and I want to give kudos to the cast and the players today, because the whole point of this, I'm grateful to TPK for giving me this chance, because it's just to allow our creators a place to just play a game. So it was cool to see everybody a little bit more relaxed. I can't wait to see the conclusion, how you guys take it. You did some pretty surprising stuff today, so I'm excited for it. So we'll see you guys around. Thanks for checking us out.